going to Kentucky is so worth it. Everybody there is nice. The black people there are nice.
Him and my mom both been there. So.
That's how I rate. I'm sorry, but that's how I rate vacation destinations. Is how how certain people act.
Especially the black people.
Specifically.
There's none down North Carolina, as far as I can see.
That's actually a nice little metal key right there. That's pretty cool. North Carolina. Really? There's none in North Carolina?
Sunset Beach, where we go.
Oh, okay. So I was in Myrtle. I had to go to Myrtle Beach for a softball tournament down there, and it was it's a mixed bag. But they're all nice. They all come me hunting, sweetie, baby. Oh, I got you, baby. I'm like, that's right. Your Southern charm doesn't work on me. My wife's right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a pretty nice looking top right there.
I don't know. This doesn't seem as fresh as advertised.
Oh, well, they told me that it might take some time because 8 is a lot. And I said, no, 8's great, bitch. You just need to,
8 is great!
Put that right there. Just have it dangle.
What's the significance of the key for the...
So, Blade and Bow, which was the original distillery where Bullet currently resides, had, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 keys, because in order for them to lock and unlock their doors, each of the people that worked there had a key. So 5 keys to get in the door, to get everything rolling. That's pretty much how it worked.
So all 5 of them had to be there, or nobody could get in?
No. There was 1 key. The 5 keys of Blade and Bow once hung. Okay, so yeah, the distillery where this was made, each of the 5 people, or there were 5 people that had a key, which also includes the 5 steps it takes to make the bourbon. And each person, once they came in, they would hang their key up at the front door. So there was always 5 keys dangling. So they're like, okay, we'll make that our iconic thing since there's 5 keys, 5 steps.
And then when you leave for the day, whatever key you get is the person you go home with, right? Is that how that works?
Something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Very progressive distillery.
They did distillery tours, and whenever the guys would see a chick that they liked, they would present their key to them and say, my room number's 312. Swing on by after the tour.
Is this on right now?
It is. Are we really recording this
Pause
right
it
now?
for a sec.
Well, what we can do is we can go, don't use this part, okay?
This is Hinsky.
I mean, either she's married to a man or, they're myth-busting that lesbians can't get pregnant.
This is Fitus.
Last time you puked on my Legos, couldn't build shit for a month.
This is SquigY0.
And this kid, by the way, was 6.
And I'm Ron, I do voices. Introducing One Cigar, One Scotch, One Podcast. We're just Americans with some free time enjoying the finer things in life while discussing pop culture and politics.
We just interrupted an interrogation. Turn it off, get some juicy details.
Well, now that we're back on, let's talk about juicy. These sausage and egg McMuffins with cheese are absolutely delicious.
I heard it was going to take so long, you just jumped behind the counter and made them yourself.
I did. I said it's a good thing I brought my own muffins because I already had them warmed up.
Oh.
It warms them up in his bottom.
Uh-huh.
Isn't another room for the buttocks, the muffins?
How about these muffins? Those are toasty muffins. I know.
Look, in all fairness, they said it was going to take a long time to make these. I said, I don't have time. Just give me the stuff. I'll throw it on the dashboard of the car. It's hot as fuck out.
And if you run out of dashboard room, you just throw some on the engine block.
Oh, that's right.
Works just as well.
Quick cook.
That's what the Mythbusters taught me. Science.
Savvy myth-buster. Faggots.
Oh. The girl on Mythbusters.
That's why they put them on there.
Didn't she get pregnant twice during their station?
From the Mythbusters themselves.
Getting it.
Some of the other guys.
I was just like, either she's married to a man or, they're myth-busting that lesbians can't get pregnant.
Myth busted. So what exact myth was busted? The nut. Because clearly she got pregnant twice.
Oh my god, what a shot!
Oh, the man. Bust this. I could eat this shit all day. It was 2 sausage and egg muffins for $3. How could you say no?
So you ordered 8 of them.
I think McDonald's, at least the ones around me, are the only fast food joints that haven't seemed to decline in service.
No, they never will. And you heard what Maryland's doing?
Wendy's is like, you make your order, you see it on the screen, they ask you, does it look right on the screen? Then you get home, you're like, Why am I missing things? Popeye's chicken is the same way. I don't go to Taco Bell enough.
Taco Bell fucks up on a regular basis, but sometimes I've
Burger
had
King doesn't, but the Burger King that we have is also a KKK hideout.
Oh, okay. I can't go to that Burger King. So
Like,
it's the
I went
Burger
there with...
King.
How are they hiding if you know they're there?
Well,
White privilege.
I think I told you the story, but Urban Ninja and I...
It's when you order your burger and the guy with the hood on his face pops his head around the grill and says, "What did he order?"
Urban Ninja and I, between classes, went to have lunch at the one on Merritt Boulevard, and we're sitting there, and I'm noticing it. He's not noticing it. But there's these guys that look like they're in mock military outfits. Like they're not. It's not mock military as in these guys are in the reserves.
And this wasn't like paintball season.
No. And I'm just like, okay. And their eyes were trained on us walking with our food to the table.
You guys should have started making
Sat
out.
down, and I'm thinking,
I was like, there's a gay
but that's what I
intergender
thought.
couple.
Right, that's what I thought. I was like,
Racial.
are they looking at us a gay interracial couple or what?
I mean, he is
He got-
confusing with the way his hair
Until
is. so-
he got up and went to the bathroom.
Or
When
is
he
it his
got up
lesbian
and went to
haircut?
the bathroom, their heads and eyes all went up and watched him go into the bathroom, and I'm like, I'd hate to have to beat some white boy's ass today. It seemed like that was their whole thing, was watching him. It wasn't even worried about me, and he was completely oblivious to it. And we got out in the car,
Wow.
and I told him, I was like, okay, we're never coming back to this ever again. And he's like, why? He's like, because it's a fucking Burger King.
Burger King.
King.
It's not the Burger King. The Burger King doesn't have a stuttering problem. It's just it's trying to warn you when you go in. Welcome to the Burger King.
But it doesn't. I guess it's not that far off. I mean, the
Burger
Essex
King.
and Dundalk are each other's butt of the jokes. But Spurs Point, historically, is kind of where they hang out anyway.
Hang out. I see what he did there. See what he did there with the hanging.
Waggity, waggity-doo. Like, as cool as everybody seems about Spurs Point, that is where a lot of the...
That's where Curly had their golf course. Sparrows Point was Curly's home country club.
Mm.
He's been to all these
Sparrows
places,
Point
all
Country
over.
Club, my grandfather was a member. He's club champion.
Is
A
he?
couple times, yeah.
Oh, that's sick. That's a good course.
His name's on the... they're selling some of the holes for development, housing.
So wait a minute. The
It's a 30... It's a 18 and an extra 9, 27
So they got
hole
27 hole
course.
course?
They're selling 9.
I was saying, I only remember playing on. We played the same 18 every single time we went. I didn't know there was a third. Side.
There's 2 first holes. There's an inside 9.
Yeah.
And that's what I grew up playing when I was junior golfer. Because we wouldn't, the adults and all that would have the outside 18.
Does the outside 18 have more water or less water? Because I know there's 1 or 2
more water on the outside.
Okay, so we played the outside then. That sucks.
I like all these places around the country and the state you've seen specifically for sports reasons. Yeah, I used to play softball there. I did golf there.
Carroll County, the only thing I know of there is a sports complex. Other than that, it just looks like
It's the only thing that's there. Trust
North
me.
or West Essex.
Well, it's like we just got back from vacation. Me, my mom, and Sideshow Al, and we're sitting there talking about what we want to do next year, as far as who to invite and all this other stuff. And her and him have been looking at different options and everything. And whenever he asks me, he's like, "So what would you want to do? What's like on the bucket list thing?" I'm like, "No, I'm good. Sunset Beach every year is perfectly fine with me. Go down there, sit in the air conditioning, drink, and if I feel like going in the backyard to fish, I can fish, or I can go to the beach, which is it's nothing like Ocean City at all. The beach is clean sands, no killer undertow or anything like that, and it's really just chill. And there's golf courses everywhere.
No lice.
No lice. No sea lice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But then we got
Dirty ass people
talking.
in Ocean City.
Then we got to talking, and I was like, well, I mean, what would I want to do, or what would be interesting to me? And really, it's where it came around was sports, was, visit different, because I've been to Wrigley Field, and that was the bomb. It reminded me, now it's different because they added a bunch of changes to it, but when I saw it, the whole experience reminded me of Memorial Stadium back in the day when I was a kid. I mean, we parked in somebody's backyard and walked through a small part of the city that wasn't like inner city. It was, like it was back up on was it 33rd Street?
That's what I like about all the minor league stadiums is you see all the billboards and stuff they have posted on the walls. You see, they've got some shit going on in between every inning to keep your attention, because watching the, guys get up, strike out, and fly out on a regular basis is getting kind of boring. But just the feel, I used to go to Camden Yards, especially when I had season tickets on a regular basis. But nothing gave me the feels. Like, I've walked into Memorial. Now, maybe it's a nostalgia thing that the very first Major League game I ever went to was in Memorial Stadium, so that probably had the overwhelming, fuzzy feeling that my body had when I first walked in. But walking into Camden Yards for the first time, got the same fuzzy feeling. Now, maybe it's because I go there on a regular basis, even if there's a playoff
the first
game.
time you walk into a new stadium, you're going to get a fuzzy feeling.
Right. But, every single time I go to a minor league game, and I go to a lot, especially when it came to me collecting the bobbleheads that I did, every single time I walked into a minor league stadium, I got a fuzzy feeling. And I've been to Aberdeen a bunch of times. I got married at Aberdeen. I've been to Frederick. I've been to Hagerstown, which is a fucking train wreck of a stadium. Going down to both Oriole spring training facilities. Now, their second facilities, might be one of the best minor league stadiums that they have out now. And just I don't know, the smaller the stadium, the more homey feel it has, the more, I feel like I could watch guys come out of the corn and just start playing ball at this kind of stadium. And that's the feeling that I like to get.
Hey, Aunt, how about a warning? Sure. Watch out you don't get killed.
I don't go to a big 60,000 person stadium and think, okay, I can't watch superhero or any of my heroes come and play at this kind of stadium. It just wouldn't feel right.
Right.
Ripken was probably the last, I'm going to say, of my heroes that I got to see play. Griffey retired before him. Frank Thomas was done before him. Palmeiro had his tear-jerking for me walk away from baseball with the whole steroid scandal and stuff like that. And for me to see Ripken play at Camden Yards, that was about it. After that, it's just I'm watching all these kids that are younger than me now playing ball. There's maybe 5 baseball players older than me now that are still in the game. They're all pitchers because, you don't have to do much. It's just your arm.
Is that just your arm?
That's just your arm.
But that's kind of what we were that's where I was at, just to get back on the topic of, is that, all you guys know is about sports. It's I was talking about baseball stadiums, hockey arenas that we might want to see, or football stadiums. And when we started talking about football stadiums, I was more worried about seeing Arrowhead and the older ones go up to Green Bay and see the Packer Stadium and all that, Lambeau Field. And then, my brother's well, would you want to go see, the Dallas Cowboys Stadium? Because that thing's a fucking spaceship. And I'm initially I was it's such a fucking hassle. But then I thought about it. It's yeah, but it would be an experience. It would be something that you could gauge against.
They had a WrestleMania there. Got to see it.
Right. And then, that fucking Mercedes-Benz stadium they got in Atlanta would be kind of trippy to see.
I do want to go to that new Audi stadium that DC United just got. That looks freaking amazing.
But so that's I guess I'm buried in the sports stuff too. The only other thing I was thinking was a San Diego Comic-Con, but in saying that,
insane as a membrane.
Don't you know I'm loco?
It was but I'd have to go if they had specific artists there. I wouldn't just go to say I experienced it. It would have to be to meet some of my favorite comic artists.
That'd be a new starter right there.
Well, that's usually how the announcements go, though, is that they'll announce everything in every area, and so you should at least find one artist on their list. But I guess then is a whole con for just one artist good enough? So I didn't hear most of what you guys said because I was watching you pour the bourbon.
Oh, okay.
And apparently that bottle's not very good for pouring because it just kind of
dribbles
along, or is that a
okay.
common thing?
It's common. I'm not a...
Good at pouring?
I just drink from the bottom.
I was just wondering.
He was being really.
I thought that's where you were going with this statement.
I just drink from the bottom.
I'm just not good at pouring.
I was obsessed by his obsession with making sure every single one of us had the exact same number of drops of liquor.
I am a very solid advocate for non-alcohol abuse. I do not like alcohol abuse at all. So, like, I feel bad for this little dribble here. Like, I drool more than that when I sleep, which is a good thing because I didn't spill a lot.
We had alcohol abuse here one show.
Because I saw Kings of Comedy, and I'm like, well, you know.
Oh, that's irresponsible.
$100 of scotch in a glass, and woo, just knocked it right in the fuck over.
Yeah, I leave mine far enough away that if I'm flailing about, I can't knock it over. Have you ever been on a distillery tour, either one of you?
No.
Okay, so if you go to Kentucky, you definitely have to do it. Four Roses, we went to Four Roses. They were shut down because they were rebuilding stuff. So when if you do go there, they have a whole new facility now. Of course, every single place focuses on the gift shop. So if you want something there, it's there. And the booze is usually marked up quite a bit, but they have like one or two that you're not going to see anywhere else.
Yeah.
But I have gotten when they say before you do your tasting, if you roll the booze around or the whiskey and bourbon around the glass, it gets a nice little coverage. And you'll see people like sniff it. That's lame. Don't put just your
That's
nose.
what I did
in
the
there.
whole time when it got in front of me.
Don't put just your nose in there because that's not getting the full essence.
Is it more like
now you're breathing
that?
like get the beard in there so you got some leftover flavors for later for when the cat's licking you. But when you do the sniff test, you got to put your nose close to the upper part of the glass so you can have the top part of your mouth. When you inhale through the mouth and the nose
I gotcha.
to get the full experience.
Now I was told, or at least what I read, what I heard.
Yeah, see, it's a little different.
Is the word.
I mean, it looks kind of.
Put it up to your nose with your mouth open.
Yeah, that's it.
But not the tip up top, just on your nose, and just hold your mouth open and let the flavor go through your nose and out your mouth, and that's how you'll get your taste.
I'll rest the glass on my bottom lip, and then.
Okay.
They're both effective, but Inskee's version looks a lot less retarded.
It does, but have you ever seen that guy on the Scottish dude? There's a Scottish guy online that reviews whiskeys, bourbons, and scotches and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, let me tell you about here's whiskey and blah 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 blah." He'll take some, pour it in the glass.
Whiskey in a jar,
and it's not it's not the like typical glass. It's the kind that's like a small.
Right, no, it's a snifter.
Right. Puts it in the snifter, shakes it around, flings the shit out. And he's like, that's how you get the glass prepared for your tasting. And I'm like, dude just shot like $30 worth. I mean, it was just a little dribble, but it was an old enough drink that you're like, dude just shot out like $30 worth, like 2 ounces of this booze, just so he could have it prepped for his tasting. Like, what a dick. He's like, it gets rid of all the impurities, and the glass has been sitting and there's dust in it and all this other it gets it all out, making it perfect for your whiskey tasting. And then he pours it in. Of course, he does the little stir. And then it's like, and you gotta go. And then you go. And then you go. And he's like speed sniffing the shit out of this thing.
It sounds like a put on.
And I'm like,
I don't believe this guy,
dude. He's pro though. He's like one of those like top rated guys, and he's talking about all this other stuff. And then he's like,
yeah, this is all a Jim Carrey bit. You actually were watching a Jim Carrey.
It looks video. Like a Jim Carrey bit with the way this guy's going about doing this stuff. And then he even sat there and he's like, he's just because it's a snifter. All he can fit is his big honking ass nose in there, and it looks like he's dipping his nose in like the shallow end of a pool, because like his nose gets like right to the tip. Like all the kids, he's like, I want to get in the pool, but I don't. So they'll get to the edge of it, but never go in. Mm-hmm. That's what his nose was doing. Is he was doing that little like shallow end or deep end of the pool the kids don't want to get into yet. But just watching him go through and review these things was hilarious. And then just the, like smacking it against his palate and all this other crap. It's just it's ridiculous. But after going on all the tours and stuff like that, it's pretty decent and whatnot. So.
Do I have to turn the recording off again?
No.
It's really bothering you. Anyway, I'm taking my drink.
I did. I tasted it. I like it.
Smells a little peppery.
I don't know about peppery.
Oh, that's smooth.
Yeah,
it is.
That was a $70 bottle at the distillery.
That's actually really good for a $70 bottle. It's actually I've had $70 bottles of bourbon that taste like $30. I mean, that's pretty good.
The Bullet 10 years. I mean, this actually I have to make sure I save some of this for Stacy because she'll be pissed off if she knows how much I enjoyed this and didn't give her any.
You're not supposed to bring it over. It's going to get you in trouble.
No, I brought it over and I sat there and said, hey, I'm testing it. I mean, we went and bought, when we were down in Kentucky, we probably went to 4 distilleries. We went to Wild Turkey, 4 Roses, Bullet, and...
I think that's the only way you'd get me to drink Wild Turkey is if it was their higher end stuff. That's pretty much the only way you're going to get me to drink Wild Turkey.
My dad used to be a fan of them, but he's all Crown Royal now, and I got him a bottle of when he retired.
It's that pretty purple bag.
Yeah,
it's very high class.
I mean, it's not the wonderful flavors of like they got a different colored bag for a different flavored version.
Oh,
of
do
it.
they?
That would be adorable.
Maple this and no, because I was meeting up with my friends for the D&D night, and usually I like to take like something small that we can drink because at the time that's what we were doing. They would bring different beers and stuff like that. So I was in there. I'm like, I don't know if I want to get Crown Royal. And then there's like all these different colored boxes, and I'm just like, oh, well maybe the ladies will enjoy something like the maple flavor or whatever. And it wasn't bad. It just didn't taste like regular whiskey or bourbon or whatever. Man.
Oh, other fun fact.
Are those 2 for you? Or
I just put them out to put
I
them
don't
out.
care. You guys eat whatever you want.
I mean, what is your?
I'll go with the 2 that I had. Really.
What does your aficionado think about eating egg McMuffins while sniffing his bourbon?
There's egg and pig involved, so I'm sure he's not too opposed to it. Now
Smoky.
the bread that's there, he might be opposed to bread, but he's never said anything negative against Thomas Muffin, so I think I'm all right. That guy who's also talking about the tasting, he says you never want to, if you're doing a tasting, you don't want to drink it straight. You want to mix it with water. That way it's not overpowering your taste buds, and you can swirl it around and all
like
that other stuff.
2 different glasses? Or?
No. So you take water and then you mix it in with the whiskey, which sounds like blasphemy.
It actually
It does.
it actually releases some of the flavor.
Right.
Huh.
And then he says when you do this and you get your pitcher of water, when you pick it up, you have to stick your thumb in just enough to feel how cold the water is, because if you mix warm water in there, it's going to taste like shit. So you got to mix cool water in there. And he says there have been 3 times that he's ever done this. Twice was in the States and 1 time was in Scotland. He remembers the exact place that he went to for their tastings and stuff like that. And he's like, not going there ever again. I'm like, wow, you're snobby as fuck. You just can't go there, put your finger, or he says he poured, this is before he learned himself to put the thumb in to do the water. And he's just like, yeah, I'm not going there again. I'm like, oh, so you won't go to a place and not have just the balls to go, can you put a couple ice cubes in here? But the establishment is completely ruined for him now because he's accidentally poured warm water into his whiskey, ruining his entire day for that one drink.
Poor little cunt.
Yes.
How much water are you supposed to put in? Just like a
dab. Probably
just
like
a little dab-dabberoo.
80-30, 70, or 80-20, 70-30 mix.
Oh, he's gonna try it?
Do it. Send it. Bloop. That's nothing. You gotta do a little bit. Hit it.
Hit it.
There you go. One more might be good. Is that how that water thing works? Is it only those little mini squirts?
No, he just didn't hold it down. He doesn't want to water it down too much.
And I know it's cold, so I don't have to put my thumb under it.
The Wild Turkey, there is one Wild Turkey bourbon that I saw that I really do want to try. It's just, I don't feel like dropping $160, $170 for the thing, but it's called Decades. And what it is there's a master distiller and his son who became a master distiller. And they took some of the father's 20-year barrels and some of the son's 10-year barrels, and they mixed them together. Probably taste, like a 15-year might, but it's the whole story behind it and stuff like that makes you want to try it.
It's just like a Dogfish Head 60-minute IPA, 90-minute IPA turning into a 75.
They had the 120-minute IPA.
Oh, I've had that on draft. That's the best.
You can't drink that thing straight. That's like a...
I'm
going to sip this shit
only have
all
one,
night.
though.
Yeah. I'm going to sip this because I made the mistake of going to a house party, and I'm like, everybody's talking about how they go, oh, man, I got a bunch of 60 minutes and 90 minutes. I'm like... I'm at the liquor store while they're talking about it on Facebook. I'm like, oh, here's a 120-minute. I'm going to roll in like a fucking boss. And I bought a 4-pack of them. When it's like, oh, here's your 4-pack for $20. So I'm like, holy
right.
shit.
Yeah,
what?
You're not really a boss when you don't have enough for everyone.
And they're like, yeah, that's your that's how much that stuff costs. I'm like, whatever. I'm going to go in like a baller. Everybody can only afford the 60s and 90s. I'm showing up with my 120s. And of course, we bust them out. Everybody's like, dude, you got the 120s? I'm like, hell yeah, son. They're like, you can handle that? I'm like, duh. Pop, glug, glug, glug.
Oh, you asshole.
I got halfway down that bottle because I was thirsty.
Oh,
I got
my
halfway down that
God.
bottle not realizing this isn't a Bud Light. And after I got halfway down the bottle, I'm like, wow. Like 5 minutes later, it started to hit, and I'm like, this shouldn't hit me this hard. This is one fucking beer. And this is back when like we would go to Canton and we would start out at Nacho Mama's and chug a 40 before moving anywhere else. But of course not, let's face it, Natty Boh is water with crab piss in it.
I mean, it's still got more flavor than Coors.
The only time I've ever thrown up from drinking beer was Coors Light.
It's just water.
How
do you throw up water? Did you drink too much water?
I drank too much water.
Yeah, it's like that hyperhydration thing that
I was
chick died from when she didn't piss.
Ocean City, senior weekend. I wasn't a senior. I've already graduated I was the one guy that could buy all the booze for the kids. Don't record or play this part because now this makes me a criminal.
Statute of limitations over.
Perfect. So I'm 21. Everybody else is under 21. And there happens to be one of the liquor stores in Ocean City, like right across the street. We're like 100 and something street. So I walk across the street, I buy all this stuff. Everybody says, get Coors Light. And I'm like, never had Coors Light, not a big fan of it. I'm just assuming because, I think I've tasted it once. It said pass. But I bring back 2 full cases of beer, and we're just drinking beer at the hotel room, playing games and all this other shit. Finally, people are starting to pass out, and I'm just sitting there I drank way too much, and this is going to suck, because I feel it coming back up. And this is fucking beer. I was embarrassed. But I go over to the balcony, and I just start heaving, and I ended up falling asleep. One guy kept coming out, taking care of me. He's like, you all right? Give me some water. I'm like, are the girls all asleep? Girls are all passed out. I'm like, good, we're not going to talk about this. Are we tomorrow? Because I really want to get with that one chick. He's like, I won't talk about it if you don't talk about it. I'm like, you're a big dude. Thank you for that. Wake up the next morning. I'm still out on the balcony. I got a bottle of water in one hand that's half tilted over, and my face is just my lips are between the 2 railings. And I wake up. I look down because I want to see the destruction that I did from all the heaving. There's a family with kids staying all the way at the bottom. And their toys are left out, and there was a bucket for making sandcastles that I half filled the fuck up, and I just looked at it oh my god! Went out and got a rag, cleaned up the side of the balcony that had the puke dangling off of it. I can't let them know what floor it came from.
Right. That's all we're concerned about. We're not concerned about, we just don't want to get busted.
I stayed on that balcony for about 5 hours just waiting for somebody to go out back and go, oh my god, look at my bucket! And just start flipping out. And it never happened, and it bummed me out so much. I'm first I was bummed out that I completely ruined these kids' day. But I didn't get the satisfaction of finding out that I ruined this kid's day. Does that make me a horrible person?
Statute of limitations did not run out on that. You're going down.
Damn it!
You're a horrible person. There's some kid in therapy. He's a grown-ass man right now. Grown-ass man is in therapy because the day he woke up and he believes that his father has a drinking problem, or maybe his mother, because they puked all over his toys. But to this day, they deny it. They don't know who this mystery puker is, and their parents have probably been lying to him all their life.
Actually, that's when you find out that his parents, in fact, were always drunk and abusive and threw up on his toys anyway. And this was just one where they didn't remember doing it.
I broke the camel's back on
that.
They
didn't do the DNA test on the puke.
This kid found that my puke broke the kid was the last piece. And he's like, that's it, Mom and Dad. Fuck you guys. Puking in all my toys and shit all the goddamn time. We're at the beach. This should be a vacation. I should enjoy myself without you fucking throwing up in my buckets.
And this kid, by the way, was 6.
He was a tiny kid. His sister was probably about 7, 8 years old. He was about 5 or 6 years old. Hispanic family and everything like that. So, come on, Dad, stop puking the tequila in my bucket, man! And just getting all pissed off at him. And just finally, last time you puked on my Legos, couldn't build shit for a month! Just getting all angry at him. I'd be bitter as shit. Somebody puked in my bucket. I don't know how I'd react. I'd walk out and look. You know what the kid did? He probably looked at it. Woke up, walked outside, saw the puke, just fuck this, and just walked right back the hell inside. He's like, I'm not building any sandcastle today. Let's go play putt-putt.
Walked in, picked up a chair, smashed it over his dad's head. Hey, there, you piece of shit.
And now he's the star on Lucha Underground. So, you're
there
welcome.
You go. Way to go.
You'll see him interviewed later at some date and time when they sit there and say, what got you into wrestling? He's like, well, My dad puked in my bucket while we were down in Ocean City, and it pissed me off, so I took a chair to his face.
Ocean City, Maryland. It was the greatest time. I couldn't wait. I wanted to be there. I had all my toys. I had Mr. Fluffalopoulos. This was my favorite toy, and I left him out in my bucket.
Oh, I fucked up a Fluffalopoulos. I need to go to prison. He was one of my faves.
Walked out, somebody puked all over Mr. Fluffalopoulos.
Fluffalopoulos.
Mr. Fluffalopoulos, he drowned in a bucket of puke. And ever since then, I've taken it upon myself to find this man who has wronged me, and that's what led me to my wrestling career.
The worst part was you could tell Snuffleupagus was trying because his trunk was just hanging out, trying to breathe that last bit of air before he succumbed to the puke.
I wasn't using Snuffy. I was using Fluffalopoulos as some lame-ass...
Yeah, you just trademarked
knockoff. You were thinking Sesame Street. I was thinking some kid has some phony baloney stuffed animal that he's... Yeah, Mr. Fluffalopoulos.
I hear a Fluffalopoulos, it's still going to be an elephant to me. So, Fluffalopoulos, trunk out, trying to breathe in the last bit of air before he finally choked on all the puke that he was drowning in.
Coors Light.
The autopsy came back. We're going to tell you Fluffalopoulos.
I forgot it was Coors Light vomit.
We're going to tell you.
So it was just water anyway.
During the autopsy.
How did you know it was vomit?
Fluffalopoulos died and succumbed to Coors vomit. His lungs were full of it. Stomach amazingly empty though, but
right, because the kid never fed him. Fucking, he abused him.
It was hard.
He died from that, lungs. Ironically.
There's so much cotton that we had to get out of the way to get to the lungs. It was a mess. It was so bad.
Yeah, my only beer puking. If you recall the night that you guys came over for the show, we were talking about different. Whatever Wednesday night it was. Didn't he come for that
my
too?
vacation.
Yeah, before your vacation.
It was the 8th.
I'm glad you remember.
August 8th. Was that the one with Urban Ninja?
Yeah. Was it? Are you talking about
I don't remember who the hell was here. You were here, right? You were here. Beth was here. My neighbors were here.
Right.
So this is the one that just recently happened.
Yeah.
You puked that night?
No.
Okay.
Hold on. Can't wait for the whole story. First we had to... Okay. I didn't even have beer that night, did I? I was just thinking of beer. Beth was talking about different clubs that used to be in the area, like Bohagers.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we talked about 723 at some point. And she's like, yeah, I did quarter Corona night. And Shannon was sitting over here. He went, oh, I had hit my limit. He came over with 2 more beers in his hand. And I'm like, dude, I can't. Like, I didn't even tell him to go get them. He just, he was trying to be a friend and just got me another one. I'm like, I can't. So he's like, well, now I got these. I guess I gotta drink both of them. So that night ended with me swinging on a pole in Fells Point vomiting and him vomiting out of the car while we were sitting in it.
So now what I'm picturing is Squig is, at a strip club dancing around this pole. And he's just doing that, spin move where the legs are wrapped around.
The strip pole in the middle.
And he's just doing this, flying swan, just vomiting while spinning in a circle all over everybody that's sitting around him. No dollars were made that night.
None.
Unfortunately, it wasn't that impressive. None of it actually projectiled. It just kind of spittled on the ground. And there was snow on the ground, so it was melting the snow around it.
Oh, no. That's where you can tell it. That's when you're walking down and you see the snow spots with splatter of melted snow. You're like, oh, I know what happened here. It's not yellow, but it smells awful. So clearly somebody puked here.
But that was my only beer vomit. I've had other drinking vomits, but that was my only beer one.
I'm waiting to see if the sausage and egg McMuffin with cheese, the Blade and Bow, and Dr. Pepper make a nice little combination.
Well, maybe.
Usually once I start introducing, if I ever do, I used to go down to Canton all the time with everybody, and I was always a designated driver, voluntarily. Don't worry about it. I'll drive, guys. You go get shit-faced, have fun. I got this. Roommate's very first words to me, puts his hand on my back and says, you, sir, are a great man. You drink for free tonight. Every night I was DD. So I'm like, oh,
no.
So I get to be the DD, but I get to drink for free? What kind of fucked up plan is this? You go, calm down. You can drink all you want till 12. And if you're feeling not buzzed at all, 12:30, 1 o'clock, whatever. But you can't take any booze from 1 o'clock until 2. Soda only, so you can sober up. I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's send it out. Again, started off in Nacho Mama's, down to Natty Bow 40. moved our way around the rest of the speakeasies, including Speakeasy itself down there, hitting Looney's and all these other places. 1 o'clock hits. I'm feeling the flow. My lips are numb. I'm like, this is great. I'm having a great time. Oh shit! It's 1 o'clock. Gotta be responsible. I'll have a Coke. Then I start, I'm like trying to down these Cokes to make sure I sober myself up. Piss like 14 more times before we leave. But then the beer and the soda getting this just, we're carbonated alcohol, we're carbonated like high fructose corn syrup, and they just start battling each other. And I just go from like, I feel great to, I don't feel very good at all. And the very first time we did this, like I wrecked the toilet in Nacho Mama's. Like I vomited all over the place. And I even sat there and said, you know what? I've already fucked it up this bad. Might as well upper deck this bitch. Flushed it. Puked in the top part of the toilet. Put the lid back on and go,
You animal.
I'm out of here. And I go walking out. As I see a guy walking past me to go to the bathroom, I'm like, oh, he's going to have an experience. Let's go, guys. And I didn't stick around for the satisfaction of seeing what that guy had to get, to deal with and stuff like that. All it is just you got a double flush. But that was the last time I thought mixing soda and beer is a good idea. Now I still accidentally do it on a regular basis now. But if I mix soda and too much beer, it's a bad day. I'll get the tummy rumbles and stuff like that, and before you know it, I don't vomit anymore. I'm an adult, but
I expunge.
Right. I'll get rid of it in other means necessary. This Hispanic in me came out. I want to play with hydraulics.
I hope that noise comes through on the. That was hilarious.
What's up, man? Oh, yo, check out that 6'4". What up, Grandma? Tell your daddy to page me.
You remember that? It's from don't mess with South Central without drinking your gin and your whatever something that is.
Don't be a menace.
Don't be a menace in South Central while drinking your gin and juice.
Hey man, check out that 6'4".
Yes, this shit is raw coming at your door. You start to scream out loud. Wu-Tang's back for more. Yes, the hour's war. Trojan the war. Prepare for mic fight. And plus the Cold War.
What up, nigga?
Oh damn, what up, Grandma?
Tell your daddy to page me.
All right then. All right, player, stay up.
Peace.
Yes, this shit is raw coming at your door. You start to scream out loud. Wu-Tang's back for more. Yes, the hour's war. I told you before.
Come rolling over with that 3-wheel motor. I'm sorry, these chairs have 4-wheel motion. Sorry, I'm a 5-year-old.
5-year-old with hydraulics.
Cheers, fellas.
Thanks for listening. Interact with the guys by emailing our podcast at googlegroups.com or leaving a voicemail on 330-577-8445.
One cigar, one scotch, one podcast.
It's like it's nice because it doesn't have a burn, and it's got like spice to it. I can play around with it after I'm done drinking it for a little while to keep that flavor going. You're supposed to drink it, not inhale it.
Oh shit!
It's not like licking an open asshole, so I guess we're okay.
Cats or dogs?
Whatever.
This is Fitus.
My bass coach is telling me to slow down. I'm saying fuck you. I go running around. I hit home plate. I score. I run right through the hole in the dugout, and I go straight beeline into the bathroom. And here 3 or 4 guys. Austin's gotta go.
This is SquigY0.
You scored all right.
This is Hinsky.
I'm blowing it out. I'm quiet.
And I'm Ron. I do voices. Introducing One Cigar, One Scotch, One Podcast. We're just Americans with some free time enjoying the finer things in life while discussing pop culture and politics.
For those listening in,
Space it out just a little bit.
we're drinking Blade and Bow. It's a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, because all bourbons are whiskeys, made by the Stinsel Weller Distilling Company in Louisville, Kentucky. Just to let you know, it's 91 proof, has 45.5% alcohol by volume. and it's absolutely delicious.
Sell it.
So it's bourbon whiskey, but there's still the descriptor. There's still the it's Kentucky does bourbon. Whiskey outside of Kentucky and whiskey.
95% of bourbon made in this. 95% of bourbon is in Kentucky. There's 5% of bourbon made elsewhere.
Okay.
The difference between bourbon and whiskey is bourbon has, I think, 4 or 5 very harsh stipulations. It has to be made in the United States. It has to be made with a certain ratio of corn to wheat. It has to be distilled in brand new barrels. So, for instance, some whiskeys you might drink have already been used from a bourbon barrel. They then use them as whiskey. I can tell you that Bullet sells their barrels after they're done here in the country. They sell their barrels to Jameson to make scotch. They ship the barrels over to the UK. They then put scotch in it. Once they're done with those barrels, they actually sell it to some rum company down in the Caribbean and stuff like that. It's a rum company I recognize. You said the name, I probably know.
The rum companies have been starting to do the darker stuff. That would explain a lot of that. Because if they're getting it from after bourbon, scotch,
and then
rum, then yeah, you're gonna have some really dark stuff.
And it's
depending on what the scotch and the bourbon guys are doing.
Well, I'm not going to ruin everything for you, but every single distillery you go to, they're going to tell you how the barrels are made and how they're flame torched to a certain distance with inside the wood itself.
Right.
I do highly suggest, Stacy and I have not gone and done this, but there are I want to say one company makes all the barrels for all the bourbons. Just this one company. I think they've got 2 different locations. One I think is in Kentucky, and the other one's closer to the Midwest. But the Bullet tour was by far the best. They were the most detailed. They took us into their little barn where they make all the barrels and stuff like that, or where they used to make their own barrels. And the torching process they go through. I want to go to see what the barrel making process is like at the actual place that makes the barrels.
Right.
Because that just it's absolutely fascinating the way they go through everything. I'm a big nerd in that perspective. But yeah, bourbons have to be American, have to be a corn-wheat ratio, have to be in brand new barrels. There's a very specific rule, but they're just whiskeys, but because they fall into that small percentage of these specific rules, they're entitled to being called bourbons.
Well, all right then.
So if you want to sit there and say hey, pass me some of that whiskey, and someone's drinking a bourbon and stuff like that, you're not offending anybody. It's like me saying, hey, dude, can you pass me that? Versus, excuse me, sir, you have to be more proper, if you will, to call it the bourbon. Some people just don't give a shit, like Jack Daniels. There's an actual Jack Daniels. I believe there's a Jack Daniels bourbon, but then there's also Jack Daniels whiskey. I could be wrong. I probably am.
I don't know. We're in Maryland. Up until now, what have we really had?
We've got Natty Boh, which isn't even ours anymore.
Right.
We've
Budweiser
got
has them, right?
Somebody has them now.
I thought Budweiser bought out Boh, and now Budweiser is owned by Bavarians.
Yeah, I think that's it. I want to say that Boh was originally from Baltimore, then it went to PA, then it became Budweiser, then it became... Well, it might have been purchased from Budweiser while it was a Bavarian company. Couldn't tell you.
Don't know.
All we've got is Dogfish Head? Is that Maryland or is that
Delaware?
Delaware?
But that's
What about? Is there another?
Yinglings, Pennsylvania.
Guinness.
They're not ours. We officially have Guinness's testing facility for American flavored beers because why fuck up? Why take a good thing and not ruin it or something like that? So
distillery too, or brewery.
It's a brewery, but instead of the Guinness is already perfectly fine as it is, but now they're going, let's get experimental and fuck up our recipes.
Well, no, they've already had the American.
They have, but they're making
beer,
they're
which,
doing,
in my opinion, was like perfecting it. To be honest,
they've been testing new stuff.
They're obviously, but
where is it? What distillery was it? Either Bullet or Turkey? No, can't be Turkey because it's too big.
We're the only place in America that has a Guinness anything.
I think
There's
it
no
was
breweries or anything like that anywhere else in the U.S.
True. I think it was Bullet that we were taking a tour of. That one of their master distillers just did a chocolate infused bourbon, which could be really good. It could not be good, but this is the first time that anybody's ever tried it. But we're not going to know for 10 years. Because that's how long it takes.
That's
for
a
it to
long
distill.
gamble.
Well, they're making a batch now. They're not making any more. But they said whenever new flavors come out, it usually takes 15 to 20 years for a new flavor to get into full production.
They've been starting to jazz up. They started jazzing up to sell their whiskey and bourbon to other than, people that actually like it. When they started adding, apple and different fucking fruity flavors to it.
They have to, it's a marketing thing. They can sell it to more people. The more people you sell it to, the more money you make. The more money you make, then the bigger yacht you can buy.
White, the witch is blue.
How big does your fucking yacht have to be?
Not big enough.
Sorry, it's one of my favorite Bill Burr spots where he starts shitting on McDonald's.
You know, I feel bad for right now, McDonald's. I feel bad for them.
Why would you feel that?
Because they backpedaled. They allowed fat people to blame them. And it's just over. The second they made the salad, it was over. It was over. They said, you know what? It's our fault. It's our fault. It's our fault you're fat. It isn't. Everybody knows it's fattening. You don't order 50 sandwiches, right? But they're a business. If you order it, they're going to give it to you. That's not their fault.
Yeah, and you think that's it right there. Once they invented the
McDonald's is for when you get,
admit it.
It's for kids and for when you get hammered. That's what it is. You go in there, you eat, you get the bread in you. That's what it's for.
That's what it's for. Thanks.
That's what it's for.
Bill, how
Nobody's
did you...
going to get a salad at McDonald's. You want to eat healthy tonight, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Let's go to McDonald's. Yeah, they don't know who they are anymore. It's sad. They've lost their identity.
You feel sad.
I did.
It's probably going to be all automated soon anyway. $15 an hour will do that to a company.
Oh, yeah. No, to get back on that conversation I was trying to jumpstart earlier, McDonald's is giving $100 million to renovate all the McDonald's in Maryland within the next 3 years, to where every McDonald's you go to in our state is not going to have somebody taking your order. It's all going to be a machine. Kiosks for everyone. Now, they're still going to fuck your order up, I'm sure. They're probably
Oh, yeah.
They're probably going to fuck your order up even more now because you get to specify what you want on all your burgers.
It's not specifically the wage raise. I mean, that was part of it. But they were also struggling because all the other burger joints and stuff like that were offering bigger burgers for the same amount of money-ish.
I'd rather go to Five Guys than McDonald's any day, just for me to spend $6 on a burger and stuff like that. Now, granted, I'm getting basically a double quarter pounder with whatever topping I want on it versus just a double quarter pounder with cheese and some minced diced onions. Five Guys to me tastes better. I like.
It's interesting. It's interesting to see them try to jazz up their burgers. Like they got the bacon something signature burger.
I did.
Now
try
they got
their...
like barbecue, honey barbecue chicken tenders and shit like that. That like, and I'm just like,
it was the double bacon something barbecue Western burger or something shit that they had.
Right.
I tried it. Stupidly, I tried it before a softball game, and that fucked my stomach up good to where. As soon as the umpire says, "All right, game on," I start doing the poo-poo dance because I gotta take a dump, and my stomach is wrecked, like it is absolutely wrecked, and I'm standing there at bat, and all I feel is my stomach just turning. Like the umpire called like ball, and then my stomach gurgled, and he thought I yelled at him. I'm like, no, that's my stomach, dude. Oh god, this hurts. I got up, hit it. I laid down a double, and I'm sitting there at second base, and I'm sweating. Not because I hit a double. I'm sweating because my stomach is about to explode, and I'm trying to hold it in and not shit myself while I'm wearing my shorts. Because if I do, it's going right down and out the leg. Next guy gets up, hits a nice little screamer. I hit third. My base coach is telling me to slow down. I'm saying, fuck you. I go running around. I hit home plate. I score. I run right through the
scored
hole.
All right.
I run right through the hole in the dugout, and I go straight beeline into the bathroom and stuff like that. You hear 3 or 4 guys, Austin's got to go. I'm like, fuck yeah, I do. I'm just chugging it right there. And, of course, me trying to be the responsible player I am, knowing we have just enough people to field the team, I'm blowing the toilet out, just being as quiet as possible. Like, my ear...
I'm blowing it out, but quiet.
My noise, my body functions are being loud as possible.
Every one of his shits is him going...
No, I'm blowing the toilet out, not giving a shit who's listening, because I enjoy going and blowing the toilet up and hearing other people snicker or go, oh my god, you know. To me, that's entertainment. But I got my ear like in between blasts. I'm like listening out for strike calls or for out calls. It's like, okay, there were no outs when I got in here, so I got 3 to fuck with. I'm just trying to make sure I can get my ass wiped and clean to where I'm not running out there with stains leaking down my pants by the time I take the field. And I heard, all right, switch it up. I'm like, oh shit, I must have missed the third or fourth second out. So I'm sitting there like as quick as possible, blowing through a roll and a half of toilet paper, praying to God the toilet is not clogged. And I just flush and I go running out, ready to take the field. But you know, somebody else
wash his hands.
Somebody else's
no,
game?
I didn't wash the hands at all.
Somebody else's game?
No, it was our game, but somebody else had already taken the field for me. So I get out there all hyped up like, who took my spot? They're like, oh yeah, so Colin showed up. I'm like, oh. Well, damn. All right, I still got about like another half of this to go, but my stomach doesn't hurt anymore, so I'll just hang it out now. And yeah, that it didn't do well in my tummy, and I didn't speed eat it or anything like that, or I wasn't like, you know, doing anything to cause my stomach to be upset. It was just the combination of fake meat, fake cheese, and barbecue sauce just tore my stomach a new one.
Right.
That being said, I'm going to go ahead and eat another one of these.
McDonald's muffin,
Probably
sausage
artificial egg, and we know the cheese isn't real because that shit it never breaks down. But I don't care because
Yeah, I don't know why I did it. The only place that I really had that problem with burgers was Red Robin. Like, I'd barely ever make it back to the Red Run building, like, after I ate at Red Robin.
Yeah.
And I'd have to hit that bathroom right next to security there. Every time.
Well, yeah, I never had a problem with that.
Not a Red Robin. Of course, I usually go through about 3 or 4 orders of fries to kind of mix everything down.
It was funny, my last month at work,
Bottomless.
I'd go to Red Robin just about every day for lunch with somebody different, and I'd tell them, I was like, I don't know if I'm going back to work or not. If I get a beer, I'm not going back. Because they didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
They told me that I was there until the end of December, and then 2 weeks into that, they're like, I mean, you can ride out the time, show up if you want. I mean, they didn't give a shit. If I left early, I didn't give 2 fucks. I had a month of, you know, show up, get my face seen, go to lunch, and then it's like, do I want to go back? Yeah, fuck it, go home. So I'd have a tall Sam Adams and then go home.
I work in right across from Camden Yards. We got Pratt Street Ale House right next to our front door.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm having a bad day at work, I'm just like, you know what? I need a beer. And I go next door, get one for lunch. That's usually when I order, like, we've got, like, soda and coffee at our office that's supplied for us. We don't have to pay for it. So, like, the first thing I do is I walk in, don't say hi to anybody. Like, hey, how's it going? Like, just know I'm smelling on my breath. I have to make a beeline for the fridge, make a coffee or drink a soda or something like that.
They didn't care about that at Lake Mason. Downtown, if you reported downtown, it was more than likely you're going to have a couple beers at lunch.
Makes sense. I mean, think about it. Executives have their scotches, bourbons, and whiskeys and stuff like that in their office all the time. They're drinking while they work. But it's okay because he's the CEO. But God forbid you're a code monkey and stuff like that. And they don't
I wasn't hanging out with CEOs.
Neither was I.
It took me a while. I mean, it's like it was the first couple times I'd gone, you know, report down there because most of the time we were out in the Owings Mills building. And, like, it'd be rare that we would be needed down there because we had guys covering downtown and there wasn't much going on because all the new data center was out in Owings Mills. So I'd go down to the, you know, like, hey, let's go grab lunch, and go down to the Inner Harbor and just pick a different place, sit down, and, you know, they're talking about what they want to order. Nobody's mentioning drinks, and then a waiter shows up, they're ordering beers, and I'm like, I guess I'll have a beer too, you know. And, like, initially I was like, are they trying to get, you know, that was the first thing, I'm like, are they trying to get me in trouble? Like, what are they doing? But then, like, three days later, every lunch is a beer, and I'm like, oh. So
I think I did that when I first
when in Rome.
when I went out with my boss a couple of times. Like, you know, we get down there and it's like, what do you want to drink? And I look at him and he's like, you can go ahead. I'm like, oh no, I could order a soda, then he'll get a beer, and it's like, I'm a bitch because I got a soda. Or if he could order first and he gets a beer, it's like I can get a beer too. God damn it, I'm not. And if I order a beer first, he's gonna be like, dude, you can't drink while we're working. I'm like, I don't want to get yelled at. I'm like, I'm not 100% sure yet. And he's like, not 100% sure. Seriously? I'm like, fuck, I made the wrong decision already. I'm like, whatever, I'll have a Coke.
Fired!
I'll have a Diet Coke. I'm like, did he order a Coke because I ordered a Coke?
You got way too much going on in your head over just a fucking drink, dude.
With everything, clearly.
But no, we used to go to the Green Turtle over at McHenry Row before they fucked up and turned it into that snotty ass Iron Rooster and shit like that. So we used to go there and play Golden Tee like every other Friday, and that's like the Golden Tee's become my jam. Like I really, if I somehow get a great tax return or hit even a small lottery, I'm going to drop the $3,500 to get a Golden Tee put in my basement. And if I do, welcome over anytime.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just want to play it all day. It's just a fun fucking game. It's entertaining as shit, especially when everybody's sitting, you know, drinking, playing, and stuff like that. It's like I get to go out and have fun playing golf without having to walk around all goddamn day, get beat in the sun. And it's just like normal golf. I'm drinking, but there's no driving and actually
but you're not
playing
swinging
golf.
a club.
Right, I get to spin a ball, which still requires a lot of talent. Because if I go 1 degree off here, my ball's going. No, you don't want that. And there's like 90 courses on the 2018 one, and when you buy these, they usually give you the next year upgrade for free. So if I don't get it this year, I'm just gonna wait until like as soon as 2019 starts. Boom, I got it, and I got 2020. I'm ready to roll. And that's the whole device. They give you the big stand-up thing with the trackball, and I think it's like $3,500, no TV included. But it's like I got a TV, I can throw that shit on there. It's no big deal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, that can happen.
Easily. I just need to sell a kidney or a nut or something
Right.
like that.
That's all.
Do they still do that? Do they still buy
Sell your
one
car.
testicle?
That's cool.
I need to get to. Well, I mean, I did ride my bike today to Steve's house to let the dogs out.
There you go.
Since I'm house sitting for him, it's to and from his house is 4.5 kilometers. I found that out because I had my Pokemon on, so I need to hatch some eggs right now. And,
What's that in normal people's distance?
In normal people distance, it's 2.5 miles.
Okay.
2 miles.
It's nothing on a bike.
No, it's not. But I was a little disappointed. I mean, to get to his house was all uphill, which my legs were for a guy who is. I don't want to. Just because I play softball does not mean I'm in shape. By a long shot.
Round is a shape.
Round is a shape, and I'm getting closer and closer to round than oval. And I got
start with the egg McMuffins on that.
Yes, exactly. I got to his house, and his house is like mostly uphill from where I am. And my legs were just completely blown out. Like, I got there and let the dogs out. And I go stepping up to get into the front door, and just like, my one foot didn't even want to come up. I had to drag it. Let the dogs out. They go run around in the backyard, acting like ape shits and stuff like that. And then to my realization, it's like, fuck, I got to go home now.
Speaking of dogs, how's the animal farm that is your house?
Let's see, we've got Pippin, who's been our dog. He's been okay. The new dog we got is a Peach. She's adorable as hell. Mm-hmm. The last dog we had was also super adorable. It was a Chihuahua, just like Pippin. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't have minded keeping that one either. The dog we had before that, Stacy is foster. She signed us up to be a foster family. So the dog.
Did you have any discussion or just?
This was more of a. She had asked me a long time ago about how she wanted to. I'm trying to figure out what kickstarted this. I think it was because I was more. We got to a point in our relationship where I had just gotten we'd worked with each other. Like, she, out of nowhere, surprised me one day saying, "Hey, I applied for a job at your company in hopes I can work with you, thinking we're going to pull this whole Jim and Pam thing off, where it's going to be like super cute every fucking day, and I swing by her desk and do something cute."
Some might even say we had our first date last night.
Oh, really?
Really?
Why might some say that?
Because it was dinner by candlelight. Mm-hmm. Dinner and a show, if you include Michael's movie. And there was dancing and fireworks. Pretty good date.
We didn't dance.
You're right, we didn't dance. It was more like swaying. But still romantic.
Swaying isn't dancing.
Every freaking day, and Michael Scott comes over, he's like, ha 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 ha. It's like, no, it's not how it works. To where I was driving to and from work with her every day, silence in the car, because it's like, I've just seen you all day, talked to you at lunch.
Right, yeah.
I'm out of conversation. I am and I talk a lot. And I'm bone dry out of conversation. Stop it. I was getting, am I talking too much? Makes you want to
No.
more? Do you want some more, Squig?
Sure.
I've been looking at the bottle for a while now, and I'm like, I don't want to just reach over and take it.
Just tell me. I got you.
Yeah,
Same
I would
amount
like.
as last
I would. Yeah, that's fine. I would like you, since you got to save some for the wifey. I don't want. That's fine. I don't want to.
That's pretty much what it was last time.
I'll go until you tell me to stop.
That's fine.
Here's Eric's.
What the fuck?
You don't have to drive to Orlando. You're staying here, sleep on the couch.
Yeah, that's. I'm good. We're here long enough. I mean,
Yeah. So basically, what ended up happening is I kind of distanced myself from her for a little bit, slept more on the couch down in the basement than I did upstairs, and my affection levels have gone down and all this, that, and the other stuff. So
You bastard.
she said that she wants
A woman
to,
has needs,
I know. She needs a little bit more love in her life, and she needs to feel wanted, wants to cuddle. So she's like, I need to. She just started feeling empty. I'm not sure if she also wants kids or something like that. But she's kind of, we're okay with Alex right now, and she just wants to download some cute time with something else. So she said she was going to start volunteering for a shelter, and I'm thinking, oh, she's volunteering for a shelter, cool. I mean, she's going to go away for an hour or two, hang out with some dogs and cats.
No, she brings
take
her
them out
home
and
with
walk
her.
them and stuff
Right.
like that. And then, I'm like, all right, that's cool. Yeah, I'm all on board with that. That gives me some free time to go do my own thing.
Right.
I can start to miss her again.
Right.
She'll be gone to where
That
I can
is-
go,
yeah.
oh, I haven't seen her in forever. She's going to come home. How was your day? Here's how my day went. Let's go bone.
Right.
But
Logical progression.
that's a logical progress. That didn't happen. So she then came back and told me she's going to start doing social media for him. She's going to get pictures of adopted dogs that need adoptions,
yes.
post them online. And then she came back and said, I'm going to do a transport.
Jesus.
What's a transport? Okay, well, I go and I pick up a dog, and I hold it overnight until the people who are actually getting the dog are ready for it. Because they're not going to, transports usually come in at like 9 o'clock at night or something like that. So you're not going to want to go to adopt your dog at 9 o'clock at night. You want to get him lunchtime the next day on a weekend. So I'm like, okay. So she brings home 1-2 dogs. They stay at the house for just the weekend, and then they're gone. Then it's like, hey, just to let you know, I'm picking up this dog that we're going to foster, and it's basically that just means he lives with us until he can get acclimated to the home life again, instead of because he's been in a shelter for a long time. And then he gets put up for adoption once he's comfortable, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, so we're gonna have another dog living at home with us? She's like, yeah. I'm like, so this means there's a chance that I have another creature in this house, like our dog who can't control his bladder and shits and pisses and all this other stuff. Now I'm thinking, if I'm an animal lover, which I am, I have my cat. She's the best thing in the world. Doesn't shed, doesn't cough up hairballs.
Never shits, ever?
She pisses and shits in her litter box. She eats. Whenever she wants to cuddle, she'll jump on your lap. If you say, hey, what's up? She'll stay there, snoodle with your rubber face across your beard, whatever. If she jumps on my lap and says, not right now, I'm playing video games, she'll meow at me, and then she'll jump out of my lap and go, I'm just going to lay here by his feet. Greatest cat in the world. So, precursor to all this, we had Pippin, who's a Chihuahua. Fat, stuffy, 13-year-old dude. Barely can make it up the stairs now, but still has a lot of life left in him. Callie comes along because she was a stray cat that we saw out back. We'd throw some food down to her every once in a while. She kept coming back, so one day Stacy's off doing some...
Do you realize that when you start throwing food to strays, they
Keep
always
coming
come
back.
back?
I know.
Okay. That's not like I want to be a part of this family. It's,
Right, well-
we're giving out free fucking snacks.
Exactly.
Okay.
I threw some free snacks out for her. She would always come back when I would walk out on the deck. She's like, oh, he's here. He's got food. She'd come over. So finally one day I got curious. It was like a week into this. Stacy's off running some marathon that required her to stay overnight somewhere. I go down to the basement. I open the back door, bring the food out. Cat's just cool as shit. Comes right up to me. Sees the food, beelines it for the food, takes 3 nibbles and says, this is some good shit. And then just walks right over to me like she's thanking me. Like, thank you so much for this. I mean, she was a toothpick. You could tell she was starving. She came over, started rubbing up against my legs. I pet her. I knelt down to where my legs are similar to this. So I'm kneeling like this. She just jumps up on my leg. This is October, November. It's cold out. She just jumps up on my leg and just I'm wearing a hoodie that's like a zip-up hoodie, so it's kind of going out like this. She just finds this little pocket right here and just lays down and starts going to sleep. And I'm like, well, if this isn't the cutest fucking thing I've seen all day, let me invite you inside the house. So we go into the basement. I got a little towel out so she can stay off the cold floor, and put her food and water there, and she eats it. Once she's done eating, she chooses not to hit the towel. She comes up on my lap. I'm like, oh, this is. You know what? Fuck it. I picked her up. We walked in. I popped Parks and Rec on and stuff like that. Kicked back in the recliner.
Turns out the cat loves Parks and Rec.
Well, I'm just sitting there.
It's made to be.
I popped the recliner up. She just passes out on my lap. I'm like, this is the fucking most awesome, adorable cat ever. We're keeping it. So I sent Stacy a picture and said, look what I'm doing. And she's like, oh, so we have a cat now? I'm like, I'm just testing it out. Don't get too excited. We can talk about this when you get home. See, I started up with a dialogue where I'm just testing water. I'm not bringing just a cat in the house and saying, this is law.
I'm like talking about dogs that just start showing up in the house.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what she's going to start doing without asking you first.
Do you get talked to, or do you talk to your wife about it?
Oh, we discussed it way before we started doing the fostering.
No, I mean, but now.
Well, now it's usually I'm picking up the dog when
Okay.
it comes home.
So then her sister comes and tells her, like, you know, a couple months later that, hey, somebody's got this cat that was just came out of nowhere, needs a home. They're just getting ready to just let it loose since they don't want to take care of it anymore. And Stacy's like, no, I love animals. Bring the cat over here. We'll take care of it. Now, my cat has grown to a healthy size, you know, not fat or anything, but it's what a healthy cat should look like. Again, doesn't cough up hairballs, doesn't cause any drama,
right.
Has no claws, so there's nothing getting torn up. Great cat. Stacy brings home the new cat. This cat went from a toothpick to Yokozuna in 6 minutes. Hisses at everything, chases the other cats around, is a complete bitch. If the litter box is not up to her standard, she'll piss and shit on the outside of it, right next to it. She won't she won't hang her ass over to do it in the litter box. She'll be like, okay, it can reach here, let's scooch over here, let's blast out everything on the side. And she's just a complete asshole. Like, I'm all for us finding that cat a new house, or I take it out in the woods and
Old Yeller?
Introduce it to my Smith & Wesson. So now we're at 2 cats and 1 dog.
In the story, not
in the storyline.
Now in your house.
Now that she's doing this like fostering thing, we've got dogs coming out. Before we got the cats, she brought home a pit bull. Arnold was the nicest dog ever. Built like a fucking brick shit house like most pit bulls are.
Name.
But grew a liking to me. To where it's like, you know, she brought him in, she loved him up and everything for the first day, and I'm like, I don't know about this dog, pit bull. You know, I don't want another dog. I'm perfectly happy with just 1 dog, 1 cat. The ratios are good right there. Mm-hmm. Or I'm sorry, just Pippin. We don't have the cat at this time. I'm perfectly cool with just this one dog. He's quiet. You pick him up, you take him outside, you put him down. He pisses and poops. You bring him back in. You're cool. Well, she brings Arnold in, and he's been hanging out with her for 24 hours straight. I come upstairs, and he's like, all right, I'll go talk to this guy. And I go over, I pet him a few times, and he sniffs me, you know, like dogs do. And he's like, all right, this guy's cool with me, too. So he starts hanging out with me all the time. Doesn't want to cuddle with her, which is now backfiring for her because she wants a nice, warm, cuddling animal to hang out with. Now it's like, he's my dog. And whoever the fuck else is in this house, you're not allowed to be here because this is my human.
Mm-hmm.
So Stacy would get close to me. She's like, whoa, this isn't supposed to happen. I pet him. It's okay. Like, I'll put my hand on Stacy. I'm like, it's okay. And like, sit her next to me, and he's like, all right, she's cool with you, but she ain't fucking touching you because you're mine. Well, Alex came home for the very first time. Here's the new dog. Dog goes over to Alex, gives a little sniff test. He's a kid. Tell him to be gentle. Pets him on the head. Whatever, you're cool. I'm laying on the couch. He comes running over. Augie! He jumps up in the air and slams on me. And I'm like, oh! Because, you know, I don't expect this 40-pound sack to, like, you know, land in my crotch on my stomach. Arnold's like, you hurt him? Like, snaps at Alex.
Wow.
And she's like, okay, this dog's done.
Yeah.
Takes him back to the pound and stuff like that. So she's been going through a cycle of testing out these other dogs. Brings in this super fast, like, bird retrieving dog. That dog had way too much energy, way too big. I'm like, get the fuck out of the house. She brings Bullet home, who's like a half greyhound, half something else mix. And dude's got more energy than a coked up Flash. And just runs and runs and runs all day long. And if you put him in the crate for more than 5 minutes, you see he doesn't want to be in the crate and stuff like that. But when he's out of the crate, all he wants to do is snuggle with Stacy and run up and down the house like a bat out of hell. And I'm thinking we're fostering him, and then she tells me a month into it, oh no, I've adopted him. What? No, we're not taking this fucking dog. He's annoying as shit. He talks too goddamn much. I've caught him pissing and shitting in the house like 4 or 5 times. I do not care for animals that will piss and shit in my house. Because again, she's thinking on a pet level, I want to save the animals.
Right.
I want to be, the Pamela Anderson PETA spokesperson, yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, all I'm thinking is, I'm a homeowner. I've got these things pissing and shitting in my carpet. You come into my house now, and it either smells like cat piss or it smells like Febreze because I'm trying to hide the cat piss.
Right. Febreze and cat piss.
So we're also looking at selling the house now because we're getting to that 5-year mark where we want to have our 5 years in this house to jump to the next house because we've got enough equity, blah, 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 whole financial discussion, to jump into this house that we found that's foreclosure, it's a $350,000 house that we're probably going to be able to get for $200,000, which for us would be almost a lateral move.
Right.
But we're going to get a much nicer house, single family with a garage and all this other crap compared to a townhome and unit, so it's not that bad. But now I'm looking at, I have to spend all this money to recarpet our entire house because my dining room's saturated with dog piss.
Mm-hmm.
Our third bedroom upstairs is covered in cat piss and shit. And meanwhile, I just found out recently that the foster cat that we have, Archimedes, has been taking a liking to pissing on my leather couch.
Oh.
Nice. And if I have a quilt left out, no matter where that quilt is or where my pillows are down in the basement, he'll spray them and he'll piss on them too. So I'm doing the wash regularly every other day now to wash 4 or 5 quilts and a pillow. And even if I put this shit up somewhere, he finds something to go piss on. And I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking done with you. Like, if it weren't for the fact that I know that she would wring my neck, I would have let this cat out in the wild months ago. Well, we only had him for about a month and a half. But weeks ago, I let this cat loose.
No, probably months ago.
Fuck I felt bad for the cat. She brought him home. He was skinny. He lost all his hair because he was left home alone.
Took a shower washing every body part with Astral soap, including all my major crevices, including in between my toes and in my belly button, which I never did before but sort of enjoyed. I washed my hair with the Don't Formula shampoo and used cream rinse for that Just Wash shine. I can't seem to find my toothbrush, so I'll pick one up when I go out today. Other than that, I'm in good shape.
I'm not sure if his owner died or something like that, or was just neglected that bad. But he had stressed himself to death where he has no hair. He basically looks like one of Steve's cats, and is one of those, like, Mr. Bigglesworth kind of like cats.
Big frou-frou cat.
But he's one of the Aerodactyl cats, so he's got opposable thumbs.
No.
And he's a fucking big cat. Like, I'm not talking like fat or anything. He's very long. He's very tall. He's like a bobcat kind of like cat. But now that he's got all his fuzz back and he's a talker. You walk in, meow, meow, like every 30 seconds you've had a full on conversation with the cat, but he's not done talking to you. He's like me. I just diarrhea at the mouth.
Right.
So I kind of get along with him because we'll just sit there talking back and forth to each other. But I can't stand things that piss and shit in my house, making me now, cool, you're a cat that we're fostering. And the fosters.
Have you had a discussion?
I know, we've had plenty of discussions
with
about
the cat,
this.
or
and you lose the discussions. Discussions.
Yes, I lose every discussion. She's finally, like, I've hit my boiling point. I said, look, I'm ready to take this cat outside and have him put his head over the block that I usually split wood with so I can split him.
Right.
And she's like, okay, he's healthy enough now that he's got his fur back. I'll list him, see if we can get him adopted. I'm like, no one's going to adopt the cat. They just had a thing at the shelter, I think 2 months ago, where you could adopt a cat for free. Didn't have to pay any fees, any taxes, anything. You just come, pick the cat up, and go because there are too many cats around. Everybody's got a fucking cat.
Is she okay with things shitting and pissing in her house that she wants to move out of?
She
She doesn't have to wash all the shit.
She doesn't think like I. No. I make her pick up the shit. I make her do all that cleaning stuff now. I'm done vacuuming the house, and I'm done. I went out and because of the dog, I had to go out and buy a carpet cleaner because I'm not going to go to Home Depot and rent one every month. So I went out and bought one. That came out of my pocket. So I went out and bought a carpet cleaner. So I've probably cleaned.
But you've brought this to her attention that as a homeowner.
I've brought it. No, I've told her. I'm like, look, we own this house.
And what does she say in response to this?
It's don't worry about it. He won't be here that much longer. I'll find him a home. And it's like, you don't understand. Their piss doesn't just go in the carpet cleaner and then you steam clean it with a vacuum and it's all fixed. Well, we'll get like Stanley Steamer to come over and hit our carpets before we sell the house. I'm like, that's great. You're going to sit there and suck up the shit on the outside, but there's the carpet underneath. There's that layer of carpet that's the padding that soaks up all that piss. And God forbid if that shit gets to the wood, now you're talking some major expenses.
Right.
Well, I still think Stanley Steamer can do it because that's what they're paid to do in their pros. I'm like, that's one thing. That's for cleaning carpet, not for cleaning the under padding and cleaning the wood. So we have to replace this carpet. Now, of course, I'm sure she's talked to friends of mine that I play ball with that do home repairs and stuff like this. And they all, carpet's not that expensive. No, it's not, but the install sure as shit is. And I'm not a carpet installer, so I don't want to go fuck up the carpet that I'm trying to sell my house with. So that's been my conversations. I want these animals the fuck out of here because I'm tired of coming home to a house that smells like cat box, smells like dog piss, smells like cat piss, and her cat Dia throws up on a regular basis. And it's not like I throw up because I got hair in my stomach. It's because she's a fat ass and won't stop shoveling food down her face. She's puking up everything she eats in solid form and liquid form. It's not fun. I bring these new. My CEO had an apartment at the Zenith Building, which is right across from Camden Yards, and he no longer is our CEO, but I'm still good friends with him. He said, "Look, they're cleaning my apartment out." The company came to me and said, "Hey, Les told us to talk to you about getting rid of all the stuff in his apartment. Take it to a place and donate it." I'm like, what if there's something there that I might be interested in? Like, you know what? That's cool. Since we're not going to pay you to do this, and you're doing this as a favor to us, whatever furniture you want to keep. Whatever you don't want to take, donate. Cool. I got a free entire bedroom set. Really nice, hard, and heavy wood.
Right.
Upgrade. Got new couch, new love seat. Upgrade. I got all new TV. Upgrade. I'm getting like all this cool shit. I bring it home. Doesn't take me 2 minutes before the cat or dog has pissed on it, shit on it, scratched it up. It's like, this is good fucking furniture. This is not like your run-of-the-mill IKEA.
Right.
Picked it up, you don't buy a couch. You get couches. People give away couches. That's what I got. I didn't buy this couch, but had I did, it'd cost me a lot of money. I'm going to get pissed off because it's a nice couch. We can't have nice things because these cats and dogs are pissing and shitting all over our house.
Right.
And as a homeowner's perspective, she doesn't understand the consequences and repercussions because I'm the one buying the vacuum cleaner and buying the carpet cleaner. I'm cleaning the carpets. Now I finally hit a boiling point and said, here, I'm teaching you how to use this bitch. So when next time the cat or dog pisses and shits, you clean up after it. Which sometimes she's in a good mood where she'll be like, cat pissed here. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Aww.
Bing, 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 fixes it up. She's like, he's not pissed off today. Gold star. But there will be other days I come home, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And she'll be laying in bed like, sorry, I'm in class right now, because she does online classes for her major. And she's like, I'll get to it as soon as class is over. I'm like, oh, so it can saturate even further into our carpet and subflooring. Enjoy your class, I got this. And then, that's okay. I already know I have to replace the carpet. If it's on the carpet, I don't care. Now that I found the cat, since I sleep in the basement every once in a while, because I'll come home, I'm not tired, she'll go to bed at 10. I'm like, fuck 10 o'clock, I'm not going to bed until 1 or 2.
Right.
I'll be downstairs playing video games, and all of a sudden I hear that noise of piss happening from a small object, hitting in the same spot that it's been pissing in, because you can hear that wetness of the carpet now. I look over, there it is. Cat's just spread leg, like, guess what, motherfucker? And he's smiling at me. I look at him like, what are you doing? Meow. I'm like, yeah, fucking meow. Grab something, throw it at him. Now I gotta go get the carpet cleaner, and I gotta clean up his fucking mess.
You should pull up the carpet.
I don't want to. I'm scared.
You should pull up the carpet. You're going to have to know what you're dealing with if you're going to be getting in a new house. And worst case scenario, you pull it up and you find it now, and it might be enough evidence to go,
We're already in the process of getting rid of Archimedes. I've already told her that she and I are both getting sick of Dia. So we have a very good feeling that we're going to be putting her up for adoption as well, even though she's our cat.
Right.
So we can get rid of both cats. She's just picked up, like I said, she's probably brought home a total of 6 or 7 dogs. And the dogs have gone from, I love this dog from the way he looks. If I were to give you a chart of this is how much I think the dog is cute versus keepability. Cuteness level here, but the keepability is down here. But it's been slowly going up for the cuteness level and keepability level, to where like the last 3 dogs she's brought home are like, oh, that's a gem right there. Because the last dog we had was I think 12 or 13 years old. Her owner died. Super well trained. You open the crate, say go to your home. She goes right in, turns around, lays down, and she's like, okay, I'll see you when you get home from work. Tell her to sit, she sits. You tell her to stay, she stays. Perfectly trained dog. Did not piss and shit in the house. All she wanted to do was sleep next to Stacy once, she got an opportunity to do that and stuff. I'm cool with this dog. Unfortunately, the dog was already adopted. We just had to hold it over for a week to give it to the owner. Kind of bummed out. Then she brought home this Chihuahua, which was this previous puppy that we had, and it was chill as fuck. Never barked. I mean, if it did, it was just kind of like you're messing around with it. And it's like, hey, stop your tickling me, and it barks because whatever reason. Super chill, had tons of energy. Basically the same size as Pippin, or height as Pippin, much skinnier because it's younger. It's only 2 years old. It could jump up and down from the couches. Pippin can't do that. He's got the cute little stairs to get up on the couch and stuff like that. Really chill dog. Wanted nothing to do but to lay next to Stacy and me, which is basically what Pippin used to do until now he's gotten so old and stinks all the time that we don't want to mess with him. He's got a bad tooth, so his breath is just ass.
Nice.
And it's going to cost us more money than what it's worth to have his tooth yanked out. So it's kind of like he's not in pain, so we'll just deal with it. That was a cool dog. I said, look, you want to keep him? I'm all for it. She says, I'm not ready yet. I'm like, what? She's like, after the whole bullet fiasco of keeping him for 2 months and me flipping off saying we can't keep this fucking thing, she's been a little scarred from that to where she doesn't want to keep a dog. But I'm like, this dog's cool. We can keep this dog. Like, I'm all for it. This does not have an owner yet. No, I'm not ready for it. She posts up online. Of course, it gets snatched up quick as hell.
Right.
Dog's gone last week. She brings a new dog home yesterday. Cute as can be. It's 3 years old. You can tell it's a mom because its nipples have been completely, sucked to like that length and level and stuff like that. It's a part Chihuahua.
Glad you're looking at that.
It's a part Chihuahua. Well, she brought it up. Part Chihuahua, part wiener dog. So it's an interesting look. It's like a stretched out Chihuahua with a longer nose.
Right.
I've not heard her make a sound. It's been like 2 days. She's not barked. She's not whimpered. She's not yipped. She's dead silent. That's my kind of dog. I like cat dog.
One fine day with a whoop and a purr, a baby was born and it caused a little stir. No blue buzzard, no three-eyed frog, just a feline canine little cat dog. Cat dog, cat dog. Alone in the world was a little cat dog.
I want it to be the size of a cat, like Ron Swanson would say. If it's under 50 pounds or whatever, it's a cat. Cats are worthless.
Yeah.
I like cats still. My cat is quiet. She doesn't get in the way. She's just adorable. This dog is the same thing. Same size as the cat.
So you didn't like Steve's Golden Retriever?
No, I love Maximus. Maximus was a whole different thing. That's the difference is not my dog.
Mm.
I was living in his house, and if his dog pissed or shit, that was his carpet, not mine. Now it's my carpet I have to deal with.
You can potty train dogs.
We did. No, we do.
And like you get a dog that's at the level of a retriever, they're usually pretty smart, and it doesn't take a lot to get them potty trained.
Right.
Actually, most of the time when you get them as a puppy, they're already potty trained.
Right, that's the thing is we're bringing in dogs where we don't know their backgrounds, or we have a small write-up of like this is someone's dog, like the dog's 2 years old, it was abused, or
I prescribe for you a puppy.
Right, so I don't want honestly. I would rather a dog that's already been trained because I'm a cat person. I don't have time to be training dogs.
But you never know what you're going to get with the dogs.
Neither a puppy. You don't know what you're getting with a puppy.
You do if you train it.
Not unless it's brain dead.
You can train it to act a way.
You can train it to act a certain way, but if you got a derpy dog or an idiot dog, not all dogs are smart like retrievers.
You want to get a retriever?
I don't want a big dog. I want a small dog. I like dogs that are cats. I like quiet, out of the way creatures that just want to come hang out. The reason I'm a cat person is if I'm going to go to Ocean City for a weekend, I don't have to find a sitter. I don't have to have all this extra stuff. I don't have to pay somebody.
Well, first off, Ocean City is a mistake. Second off,
I'm just using an example.
They vomit in your toys.
Family, pet friendly to rent.
You can, but that costs more usually. I'm just saying that, like for instance, if I have to go down to Myrtle Beach, or if I got to go to Florida for another Worlds tournament, I need to be gone for a long period of time. Now, granted, if this was me being single, because this is why I became a cat person, because while I'm single and I have nothing but a cat to worry about, I know that if I put enough food in its little auto feeder, that it'll go an entire week without me having to do anything. Water's the same way. I put it in one of those big fucking jugs that just auto feeds its way down until it's empty. And if I can be gone for an extended period of time, I add a second litter box into the mix. I come home, cat's taking care of itself. It's eaten, it's shit, it's slept. I don't have to deal with anything. Is there a hairball? Not my cat. I find cats that don't puke up hairballs. I'm good to go. You got a dog, you got to find somebody to sit it. You got to find somebody, like her sister's, with Pippin's fine. He's a tiny little dog. Her sister doesn't mind watching him. If I got a golden, it's a lot harder for me to sit there and say, hey, can I leave my golden at your house? Versus, can you come over to my house on a regular basis and check up on the dog?
We have a Labrador in our house. Al has a Labrador, and we babysit our friends' dogs for...
So you guys alternate who watches whose dogs?
Well, no. What I'm saying is, when Al's friends go out on a weekend, they'll call him up to see if he can babysit their dogs. As long as they're socialized and get along with our dogs,
right,
they'll have a weekend of pure bliss, because my mom is like the fucking dog goddess. The dog will be treated well, probably go out for walks and all that for the weekend that they're there. She geeks out about that kind of stuff.
Well, that's one extra hassle I don't have to deal with cats, because I can take care of it all myself.
That's not a hassle for you. If you drop it off over my house.
That's if I drop it all the way off at your house. Now, your house is a good 20 to 30 minute drive from my house, and
20 to 30 minutes isn't really that bad, considering you're probably going to be dropping it off on the way to wherever you got to go anyway. Or you drop it off the day before. Or I come and pick it up.
There are tons of options, but still,
that's
more of a hassle than what I have to do. And like right now, every time Steve goes out of town, he says, "Do you mind watching the dogs?" I say, "No, that's no problem." I show up to his house, and he's got little instructions printed out for me of what to do. And I don't just dog sit for him. Like, I house sit. If I take out the trash when the trash is supposed to come by, I feed the cats, I Roomba the house, and I mop it up and shit like that when I'm done with it. I had DJ
Roomba.
So I'm doing all this stuff at the house, and there's always a check laying right there. And it's like, you know, if I ask somebody to watch my dogs, I'm going to feel guilty as shit having them watch my dog on a regular basis if I can't return the favor somehow. So now I got to pay somebody to watch my animals.
I pay my deck.
I'll paint your deck. I don't care. I'll do that for free anyway. So I got to go through all this extra hassle, and I don't feel like dealing with that. If I come home, I could just go on vacation and come back. Nothing's changed. All I have to do is clean out the litter box like I usually do and fill up the cat.
You're not suitable anymore.
No, I'm not. But now the thing is, now we have to go around making sure I'm ready to go on vacation, she's ready to go on vacation. Has Alex been, you know, if we're supposed to have Alex, we got to make sure he's got somewhere to go. We got to make sure the dog's got somewhere to go. Cats, taken care of. They were taken care of before I even had to leave on vacation. That's why I like them. I don't have to wake up at the ass crack of the sun coming up to let the dogs out to piss and shit. I don't have to rush home after work to let the dogs out so they can piss and shit. And I don't have to make sure I come home after softball in a timely fashion to make sure I let the dogs out to piss and shit. Whereas the cat, I can come and go as I please. They go in the litter box at no inconvenience to me whatsoever.
So what he's saying is he doesn't want responsibility.
I'm lazy as fuck when it comes to having a pet.
That's
yeah.
what I'm
responsibility is kind of bullshit. I mean, there is that.
I guess.
I can handle responsibility.
It's a social construct created by the patriarchy.
Oh, yeah.
I can handle responsibilities. It's just...
I heard that.
To oppress women.
Right.
I can handle responsibilities. I'm cool with what I got right now. if I'm out playing ball with the guys, and I have to, like, some of my days will have me leaving the house at 8 in the morning, I have to leave directly from work to make to the field on time at 6. So if I'm going from 5 to 6, I have to go from Camden Yards up to White Marsh in an hour, be changed, be ready to go, and all this other stuff. With the traffic that I have to deal with, I'm usually getting there like right around 5:50, 5:55, which means I
We'll
don't
see what
have-
happens when he retires from the softball thing.
Huh?
I don't see that happening.
Not until I'm in my 50s.
Not until his knee snaps in half.
Well, my dad did have 2 knee surgeries,
there's
which put
that.
him on the sideline, so there's a good chance I have that coming my way.
By somebody who is just tired of hearing about his fucking softball.
So it's not even a game injury. It's just somebody just kicks him in the knee.
It's about the fact that
It could be anybody. It could happen today. The way
hit him with a baseball bat.
He'd
crack him in the knee, get a retriever, and then I'll see you later.
I mean, you think this bottle's heavy enough if it got dropped on the knee just the right way?
I think he'd rather hear my skateboard stories than my softball stories nowadays.
No, I'm just fucking with it.
But it's not the fact that I don't want the extra responsibilities. It's having a pet regardless, whether it's a goldfish. You still
right
have
now
to
you're
feed
living
it.
in a zoo.
Right now we have 2 cats inside. We've got Pippin. We've got this foster dog. I'm sorry, we have 3 cats inside because we're fostering
Pull
one.
the carpet up.
And show her how bad it is?
Yes.
Well, I need to go out and rent one of those I'm not sure if you've ever installed carpet before, but they've got these devices that have a giant pad on the end.
Yeah.
And then the fingers that you jam into the carpet so you can
Right,
slam
yeah,
your knee
right,
next to it
yeah,
and jam
I
it underneath the
understand
wall.
that.
So I have to go rent one of those if I do that. But yeah, I mean, her whole story is I'll take care of it, and it's like, okay, what are you taking care of? Because you're bringing more fucking animals into the house. Now, in all fairness, most of the dogs she's brought in, you're looking at like mathematically it would be like 80% of the animals she's brought in have been okay. Between Bullet and this new cat, that's the 20% that bothers me, and that 20%'s done enough damage.
Right, but when dealing with a situation like that where clearly your side of things that is very serious, considering that you guys are planning on moving and getting a new place, if you have to try to sell the place that you're in, then you probably want to, do the freaking, shock value, look at this. Or you pull the carpet up and you say, no, we're fine. Things are okay.
But if we're okay, then she's like, well, I keep bringing animals in and they keep pissing and shit all over the
I have
house.
a funny feeling. I mean, how long have you been living there?
Going on
And how long did
4
it take
years?
for you to... Okay, hey, you've been there for 4 years. How long before you bought the steam cleaner?
2 years.
2 years, all right. So that's 2 years of non-steam cleaning.
It's 2 years of non-steam cleaning, but the dog probably... I bought the steam cleaner right about the time the dog kept pissing.
And that's if you catch them pissing.
Well, you can tell by the smell.
Right, but if you guys are passed out for 4 or 5 hours and they got a piss, do they come down tapping?
Oh,
on your
no,
shoulder?
I'm talking... Our carpets probably had piss that sat in the carpet
Right.
for over a month.
That's what I'm saying. You're probably going to find something down there.
Oh, I know I'm going to find something down there. I just don't feel... The shitty part is that when the dog was pissing up in the living room, he didn't find a corner to go do it in. He would go and find every leg. Now, the furniture I have in my dining room came from my grandparents who passed away. So I've inherited a dining room table and all their chairs. And the dog has marked every leg of every chair in the dining room table. So if
Right.
I pull that carpet up, I got to go half the room to get to where those stains are, which is going to be a lot of fucking work. But if I can tell, if my friend who does home repair doesn't mind helping me, who knows? I could pull that carpet up and find some nice hardwood floors. And then all I got to do is sand that bitch down and put some lacquer over it.
Yeah.
Now I've increased the value of my house even more.
Yep.
But seeing how the previous owner didn't do that, they put brand new carpet down when I bought the house, I'm going to go ahead and assume there's probably nothing but plywood underneath.
Right.
But, I don't know, maybe the shock value will work, maybe it won't. I mean, she can't get rid of the cats and dogs just like snapping her finger because she's doing this as a voluntary thing. She can't just drop this animal that we got from this specific company. It'll take a couple, it'll take having to find a new
You can
foster
volunteer to
family.
give it back.
We can give it back, but they have to find another foster family to take it off our hands first.
Okay.
So that takes like a week.
Okay. A week is sooner than
keeping
not.
it forever. Fucking
Right.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Wait, am I winning this round? Okay.
I don't know who's keeping score, but
You had me with the cat thing, but I'm winning with the house thing.
You win. Have another drink because you gave me more ammo. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Interact with the guys by emailing our podcast at googlegroups.com or leaving a voicemail on 330-577-8445.
One cigar, one scotch, one podcast. And then hopefully the next house that you're looking at either doesn't have carpet or has carpet, which you can pull up and there's hardwood floors underneath of it.
Well,
so that you don't have to deal with that kind of... Why do you think this house has no carpet?
If we're looking at the foreclosure, though, if we get the foreclosure we're looking at, based off what I saw, it probably needs new carpet anyway. But the downstairs, living room, dining room area is already hardwood. The kitchen's tiled, and the basement's unfinished. So all I have to do is carpet the upstairs. Not as expensive as the whole fucking house.
I'm not saying this against your wife or anything. I'm just saying I can see you getting ready to move out, and why aren't they buying a house? Oh, we tore up the carpet and there's all this, and they want that repaired before you can sell the house.
Well, I mean, usually, like when we looked at houses, we didn't ask to lift up any carpet or anything. But every house we went to either had brand spanking new carpet in it, or because most realtors will tell you before you sell a house, and you've been there for a certain period of time, you're going to want to replace the carpet anyway because of how old it is. It could have smells in it. It could have who knows what. You can still have a professional cleaning. I mean, I know the apartment building I lived in, when we first moved into the apartment, they put in brand spanking new carpet because the previous tenant was there for 6 years. So it's just kind of like a standard routine thing to do, which is why carpet companies will never go out of business.
Right.
But, if we find out that the stains have not saturated too far in, maybe a Stanley steamer job could do it. Maybe we could just sprinkle that powdery pet shit all over the house to make the house smell nice all the time.
No, that never works.
But people will catch on.
Yeah.
Why does this house smell like flowers so fucking bad?
No, it smells like... Actually, if anything, it helps lift up and make some of the piss smells. Because it'll smell like flowers and piss.
I've gotten the Arm & Hammer stuff that I've been using actually has really helped, which has masked a lot of it. That's the biggest problem, is it's masking stuff. What is it still masking if it's gone? Plus, when the smell comes back, it's in there still.
Plus, your guys are going to have to go around, probably paint walls, repair walls, or something.
We haven't painted any of the walls in our house since we moved into it. We just have to maybe clean a few. I'm pretty sure I could, get some magic erasers to fix the scuff marks on all our walls, and I'm pretty much ready. The house is pretty much just move-in ready as soon as we do that. Because we haven't touched the walls because we know we're only going to be here for a few years.
Right.
So we were making this like a skipping stone to another house. And if we can get this $350,000 house for two, that might be our forever home, unless we want to get to a different location. We're in the Baltimore City right now. I live in a spot where it's near Morgan State University. Just to paint you a picture of the neighborhood that I'm living in.
I've been there.
I think there's one Asian family, one white family, and the rest of it's just a bunch of retired people. And if not, they're close enough to it. But when you live in a community full of retired people, and again, I know I mentioned I've only got one white, one Asian, and that means obviously everybody else is of a different descent. I'll go ahead and say it. They're black. I'm not trying to paint like a racial thing, but I'm just saying that's the type of neighborhood I'm in.
All right.
And because it's a retirement neighborhood, it's not that bad. But when you're living in a neighborhood full of retired people, and they start passing away or going into senior homes, usually younger people are going to move into their spots. We've had 4 or 5 houses have that. And stereotypes will be stereotypes for a reason, but then I've got all these guys driving through our neighborhood with their music blaring at 12 o'clock at night. I've got dirt bikes shooting up and down the street. I think I've told you guys my dirt bike story.
I've heard it.
Tell it for the listeners.
Bunch of kids would be riding dirt bikes up and down the neighborhood all day long. No problem. Statute of limitations says you can be as loud as you fucking want until 11 o'clock. 11:30 comes by. They're, I don't understand. I had a motorcycle for years. I never rode the bike and just fucking revved it up just to rev it up while I'm already going at the top speed or whatever.
Yeah.
They're doing it just to be loud and annoying and say, look, listen to me, I don't have a muffler on my fucking moped.
Right.
But I got the 12 o'clock boys basically flying up and down the alley behind the house, and it's 11:30. I got a kid who's got school tomorrow. I got a wife who can't sleep, and I got myself who can't sleep.
You sound so responsible.
Well, this is get ready for it, because I'm going to get super responsible in about 30 seconds.
He came out on the lawn and shook his fist at him.
I've had enough of this shit. I go downstairs, I unload my Mossberg to make sure there's nothing in it, and I kicked open my back door, cocked that motherfucker, and said, "Get the fuck away." And I haven't seen him for 3 years. So what I learned is, if you Clint Eastwood these motherfuckers, they're
Right.
going to leave you alone.
This is Hinsky.
And I looked at her and I'm like, she's a cunt.
This is SquigY0.
I mean, there's one or two people listening to this podcast.
This is Fitus.
I go downstairs, I unload my Mossberg, and I kicked open my back door, cocked that motherfucker and said, "Get the fuck away."
I don't know who this guy is.
Don't get mad.
And I'm Ron, I do voices. Introducing One Cigar, One Scotch, One Podcast. We're just Americans with some free time enjoying the finer things in life while discussing pop culture and politics.
Now, more families have been moving in. You know, we're an open family. If Alex wants to go make friends in the neighborhood, go play out in the backyard, kids come by, invite him in the backyard, you can play with them here too. Well, he hangs out with these kids for not even a week. He's already stealing shit around the house. He's already found out how to get into the iPhone, add a passcode, and add his fingerprint to our phones.
Jesus.
And he's let these other kids play with his iPhone and just let him walk away with it. They put their fucking fingerprints on it too. So they taught him all this shit we don't need him learning right now.
Right.
So you can't hang out with the neighborhood kids anymore.
Right.
Now, granted, our neighborhood is still assload safer than his dad's neighborhood because his dad lives in Pigtown on Sargent Street, which is probably the most... If you ask a Baltimore cop, he'll tell you Sargent Street probably has more drug deals on it on a regular daily basis than anywhere else in Baltimore. His car has a bullet hole in it now with a trunk.
Nice.
Like, I shit you not, I could stick my thumb into that bullet hole, and that's how big it is. So whatever they shot at, it was a decent enough bullet to penetrate his trunk.
Right.
And he's now trying to find a new house. And he's been trying to sell his house for a while, but nobody wants to fucking move down there. And if he sells his house, he's going to have to go a little bottom up on it because nobody wants to go down there.
Right,
And his house was one of those kind that was gutted and renovated from the inside.
Yeah.
But that's all he could afford at the time. Now he's married, and they have a two-income house, so two-income household, so he could definitely afford something better.
Right.
But he wants out of the city.
Right.
I'm 4 blocks away from living in the county as it is, because Parkville's in my backyard, and I'm in Loch Raven, which is city. So it's not that bad for me. And I live right around Morgan, and Morgan's getting built up right now. I'm not sure if you've driven past Morgan State University.
Not in a while, no.
But they've added 4 new buildings, and they're adding the 4th one right now. So the university's gone from being just 2 or 3 buildings to being a massive upscale, which means if I wanted to, I could if I could somehow financially find a way to do it, rent my house out at the same cost that my mortgage would be. I mean, I've looked at houses in my area, and what they're renting for is like $300 or $400 higher than what my mortgage is.
Right.
Which means I'd be making a $200-$300 profit on that house as long as I find good tenants that won't fuck it up. And if I can do that their money they're giving me will pay off my house. I can pay off the house that I'm going to be moving into. Whatever I get from them, I'm just going to store in a bank account in case they fuck something up and I need to fix it. There's the money right there.
Yeah.
But 30 years later, I'll have 2 houses instead of 1, because that's the whole thing. If you want to make money, they say buy properties.
Yeah.
And if I'm buying it near a university that's building itself up to be a bigger thing than what it is, it's very possible the house could increase in price. And if I rent it out to college kids, I just rent it out to somebody for a semester or 2 and then get new people in, and I just keep this whole cycle going and stuff like that. And of course, if I open up an LLC and all this other shit, I can have a lot of extra tax write-off stuff and blah, 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 and I can make the system work for me, but I'm not smart enough to know how to do that yet, so I have to talk to somebody who does. But I don't have that kind of income where I could probably afford both anyway, so we have to sell the house. And in order to do so, we need unshitted on, pissed on carpets.
Well, there you have it.
I'm going to stop talking now since I've filled up the microphone with about an hour and a half worth of my garbage.
I'm just stuck on the fact that...
Anybody want this last one?
Nope.
Nope.
You sure?
All you, man.
Alright, I'll set it there. You need more liquid libations?
No, we're saving for your wife.
Save it. That
no, save it for her. She might like it one more. Huh?
Yeah, she go buy more. I bought this bottle.
Oh, well, in that case.
If you look at our liquor cabinet, she's got her bourbons on this side.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I've got my bourbons and whiskey on this side.
Right.
I got the Fireball and the vodka and the Bombay stuff from the golf tournament.
Right.
It's all on my side. She's got a bottle of Ouzo on her side. She's Greek.
Is she or is she German?
She's Greek.
Okay, so what's all the German shit?
Alex was born in Germany.
Oh, okay.
Stacy and her ex-husband were stationed there when they were in the army.
Gotcha. I get confused because I know she's all Greek, but then I'm seeing like celebrating German stuff, and I'm like,
well, her dad.
Maybe she's German Greek. I don't know.
Her dad's German. Her dad's got a lot of German in his side of the family, and her mom's 100% Greek. Her dad's like part German, part Welsh, part Irish. So he's kind of muddy like I am.
Yeah.
But who doesn't want to go to a German festival? They give out shit tons of beer.
Beer, bratwurst.
I got one of those big liter
pumped up
glass
titties.
things.
What more could a man want?
Just went to a Ukrainian wedding, and it was a pain in the ass.
How's that?
Well, it probably isn't I shouldn't say Ukrainian like overall. I'm sure other people, but this was also Ukrainian / snobs because they're a rich, well-to-do family, and we went because it's a like extended family friend wedding, and I've been to 2 weddings now where it seems like the family I'm there for isn't really well represented in the wedding. Like, when you and Stacy had your wedding, at the reception, everybody was like how it's great that she's part of your family now, you're part of her family. There was a trade-off. But at my cousin's wedding, it was all about her now husband's family and how she's becoming part of their family. And my side of the family, her parents and all that, weren't really involved with anything. It was just very one-sided. And then I went to this other wedding, and I'm there for this kid, and the whole time his family, they were brought up for the Ukrainian toast thing, but otherwise it was all how he's joining their family. And there wasn't a whole lot to do about his family and what's going on with his family, and I'm just like, I understand that the weddings are primarily for the brides. I mean, it's a whole to-do, usually just for the brides, really, than anybody else.
Every wedding.
But usually the understanding is that it's 2 families coming together. You're conjoining 2 families and you want to have some kind of response or inclusion of the other family. They're saying stuff in Ukrainian, toasting in Ukrainian, and when they do it, they're facing just their side of the thing. It was like we were just on this blind side of the room. It wasn't that we were with Justin's family or anything. It was, you're over there. And all us Ukrainian people over here, ah! And I'm like, wow, this is really balls. But,
I mean, I understand there's some, not religions, but some societies and stuff like that where usually when the woman marries into the man's side, the woman marries the man, she takes his last name.
Right.
She's now, in some countries they'll look at it, she's now his.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know our country's not like that at all. But it's very possible that maybe their traditions have come out to, okay, granted the wedding's usually for the girl, but the rest of the life she's his now, so they're welcoming her into his
family. I know
family.
that, yeah, and some social aspects
there's
of that,
also, I mean, what are the other people in the family? Like, you said that your side of the family is very welcoming to bring, you said that your family was welcoming them into your family? Or?
No. At my cousin's wedding, it was my cousin Allison and her husband Mark. His side of the family, it was all about them. I mean, everything was about them.
It was all about the guy bringing
no
the girl
inclusion. It was amazing that we all were pretty much ignored. And Mark is actually a down-to-earth guy. I don't want to poo-poo. I'm not trying to badmouth Mark. It was just the setting, the event, and everything, and how it went down. Mark is actually a pretty level-headed. I think he's a really great guy and very sociable type, just hang out and really cool character. Whereas the wedding that I went to, she was very snobbish. Like, Justin was talking with us. This is at the reception. Actually, this is while waiting to get into the reception. It was like a little mini bar thing before that. And he's sitting there talking to us, and she comes over, and she doesn't even know what the hell we're talking about. She's like, it just like does that fake automatic, you guys, and can I have him? And I'm like, and I looked at her, and I looked at my brother, and I'm like, she's a cunt. I was just straight up like that. She's just straight up bitchiness, and I understand, but again, it was she wanted to parade them around to her family and the other Ukrainians and all that. And we were just there to, I guess, pig out on the free food and free booze, and that was it.
I feel like that's something we failed to do at our wedding. We didn't go, like, every wedding, I feel like every wedding I've been to lately, everybody sits at the table and the bride and groom go from table to table to say hi to everybody.
Right.
To make sure they thank you for coming.
Right.
We didn't do that. We didn't go table to table and talk to people. We just kind of, like, stood there. People
you don't have to.
I know, but
I've been to weddings where you get up and you walk up to them at the table.
See, because like I went to Bill's wedding, and him and Mary had to go around. They went table to table. Now, of course, Mary only went to the table with people that she liked, which was fine. Because nobody fucking liked her. My cousin Caitlin's wedding, her and her husband walked around to every single table. My cousin Katie, she went to every single table. And Stacy and I were looking at it as this is like our day. We want to talk to people, but like we didn't have our parents pay for any. My parents paid for the DJ, the booze, and the dinner the day before. Her parents weren't able to help with anything.
Right.
So Stacy and I ended up footing a bill for a majority of it. And Stacy paid probably... I actually took some money out of my 401k to help pay for the wedding, which I know that's... You tell people that, they go, woo, why would you do that? But of course, I'm paying the money back slowly.
Right.
Because they force you to.
Yeah.
But I'm losing the interest that I could be making right now had I had all that extra thousands of dollars in there.
Right.
But we paid for the wedding a majority of ourselves. So we're looking at it as, we paid for this wedding. We're going to do whatever the fuck we want because it's our day.
Right.
Now, granted, I love talking to people. Clearly. But like, at this point in time, I'm just like, you know what? Fuck everybody. There's food in front of me, and Stacy told me at her first wedding, she didn't get a chance to eat much because they were busy doing stuff. Well, guess what, motherfucker? If there's food in front of me, I'm going to eat it. I got about halfway through, and the people just kept coming by and talking to me, so it's like, I just want to keep shoveling this food in my mouth. That was like the first time I walked away with a plate with more than like just a dribble of food left on it.
I'd walk up to them so we could, legitimize all the paperwork, and I could put my John Hancock where I need to.
That's right, because you were the official.
Because I was, so I had to sign all this stuff. I walked up to him like, hey, anytime you're ready. And then I felt like I was an asshole because I keep bugging him. Because every time he said, yeah, let's do that, somebody would grab him and then he would just disappear. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll, 10 minutes and I guess I'll go bug him again.
Finally, it's like, all right, let's go do this. Let's sign the paperwork. We go and sign all the paperwork. I come back and say, where the hell were you? I'm like, we just went back to sign everything. Like we weren't going to sign. I mean, we probably could have just signed it all before the wedding. He got it over with.
So if you would have never actually met up with him, would he technically not have been married?
Sure, they needed my signature.
We needed his signature. He was a very key and very integral part of our wedding. Father Hinsky. Is it Father Hinsky? Reverend Hinsky.
Reverend Hinsky.
But
was that really your ordained name?
Actually, that's because his best man said the Reverend Hinsky in his speech. The Reverend Hinsky.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and I got sat at the table with his cousin who wouldn't do the ceremony because it wasn't in a church.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, my cousin Billy is a friar, and he actually taught at Curly, where he and I both went to high school.
Yeah.
And because he's taken that oath, he can't marry people unless they've gone through that sacrament. Stacy and I aren't all that 100% religious. We just wanted to have we didn't want to have Bible readings and stuff like that. We just wanted to have a very simple. I mean, we got married in a stadium, a baseball stadium.
Right.
We didn't get married at a church.
No, it was bad. We had a couple meetings, and every time we're like, "You do whatever you want." No, I don't. I'm honored to be asked to do it. I'm trying not to fuck it up, and now every time the three of us meet up, you can do whatever you want. Fuck, dress like an umpire if you want. I'm like, no, this is not. You cannot. Once you open the can of worms and the worms get out, you can't put the lid back on.
We trusted him enough that he would know where the cutoff point was, where he's not going to come out wearing like an umpire in an umpire uniform with no pants and a jock strap on. We knew that he wouldn't do that because it was too important of a role. We knew you weren't going to mess it up. We just trusted you with whatever you wanted to do.
I only did one Hinsky-esque thing, and that was
enough for us.
That was over the hump, though. That was like after that moment, this is it. You guys are going to say the I do's, and we're done. And it was I said if any this is the part in a time where if anybody wants to speak up and say anything, keep it to yourself. Nobody cares.
And he had everybody. Now, granted, I thought it would have been a lot nicer. We were married at home plate at Ripken Stadium, and you were standing like in between home plate and pitcher's mound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I didn't know this, but like apparently people couldn't hear very well.
Mm.
And the microphone that I was using to talk, like everybody could hear you clean as day because you were mic'd.
Yeah.
Now I could have sworn.
And he has that kind of voice.
Well, we had a microphone set up at the plate that I was supposed to talk into.
Yeah.
But I didn't take it and walk around with it like I probably should have.
Well, because they asked you what the best way to go about it, and then they even told me like, well, you can hold it if you want, and I'm like, whatever works. And then it was, or you could pass it to him. And I think I did pass it to, like, her sister did a poem, right?
Yeah, you passed it to her sister and stuff, and she took it and talked into it. Everybody heard her fine. But then it went up on the, I used the mic that was on a stand, and of course,
it didn't have an orange fuzzy on it.
It didn't have an orange fuzzy on it, so unless I was talking directly into it, if I turned away and went like this, nobody heard a fucking thing.
I think the biggest surprise was a lot of people weren't going to buy, they didn't think he had his vowels done. And
I didn't.
All that stuff, and he did such a good job. He had her so choked up that she couldn't do hers. It was hilarious.
We're sitting there like we're drinking. Like this is what we're doing. We're up at like this VIP box that like somebody pays assloads of money to have at the place, and we're just getting shit faced. We're drinking Fireball, beer. We're doing everything. Dad,
you didn't throw up that day?
No, Dad comes walking in, and I'm like, "Hey, Dad, let's do shots." Or yeah, let's get some shots. Let's get the shots out. We're all cheering, doing shots, and her dad comes in. Dr. Miles is here. Everybody, do some shots. Get them shots. We pour shots. We're just taking shots. I'm out there, like, I know the girls are getting dressed in their other room, which is Ripken's room, by the way. And Ripken's office is where they stayed. Tinted windows, nobody can see the bride getting ready. Meanwhile, I'm out there with a Stone Cold belt over my shoulder, wearing nothing but my boxers, and I go out and I put my foot up on the railing like, this is fucking boss. I got my shit almost completely exposed so I don't get thrown out of here just because there's enough covering it that I won't get tossed out at a fucking stadium right now. And, like, I can feel the breeze on my balls. I'm the fucking champion of this day. And, like, we're just getting hammered. And then finally, like, I think it was either Hinsky or Lyclock came up to me and they're like, okay, you got your tie, you got your suit and everything, you're ready to go. You got your vows? I'm like, no. Did you write them? No, I'm kind of.
I think it might have been Steve.
I'm like, yeah, it probably was. I'm like, I've thought about kind of what I want to say, but I'm gonna fucking wing it. Because if I write it, it's gonna sound too. He probably threw a cliche in there, or it sounds rehearsed. I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm just gonna go and wing it. And I'm gonna make it my own. And, of course, everybody's expecting me, being the person that I am, to come out and throw a few jokes in there and stuff like that. And everybody's, like, prepping themselves for, like, all right, we're going to see Austin in his first stand-up routine because he's got a mic in front of him, and we're forced to listen now. We can't just walk away. I get the microphone. The precursor to this, the music starts playing for her to come walking out, and as her and her dad go walking down the aisles to get to the field, I'm worthless. I've got tears running down my face. I can't breathe. I went from being like Austin that everybody knows to the biggest crybaby you've ever fucking met. Like, I was useless. Like, she came over there and saw me crying, and she almost started to cry. She held it together way better than I did. I'm the one who dropped all the sappy shit. So I'm like, she comes out with Alex, and Alex walks over to me and holds my hand. I'm like, shit, I can't cry in front of him. I gotta buck up, So I can't. I'll cry in front of her, but I can't cry in front of Alex. That was the moral of that story. But like, she comes out like he was saying. I come up. I'm like, fuck. What do I got? Idea. I pulled this little thing out that I've been carrying it with me for a while. I wrote when I first started dating her. I had this like notepad that's like a check off to do list and like what you want your outcome to be. So it's like when I wake up in the morning, I go, what are my targets? What are my goals for this day? I want to do this, this, and this, and I got to, go back at the end of the day and check up on it. Well, I gave her this piece of paper that said, what's my goal? It's like I love Stacy, because I'm writing this when I'm like acting like I'm a 16-year-old, but I think I'm like 20-something, 28 at the time. Like, this is what I want to do, yada yada yada. And it says, what's your end goal? And I said, wife her. I want to make her my wife. Done. And I've kept that. I gave it to her. She kept it, and it somehow ended up in my lockbox somewhere. So like I saw it like right before we left the house, and I'm like, this might be useful, and I just like kind of took it, threw it in my bag and stuff like that.
I could use this.
And then as soon as he sat there, he's like, "What are your vows?" I'm like, bing, light bulb goes off. That's when I knew what I wanted to say. It wasn't like ad-libbed. I didn't have any kind of... I thought about, like, the entire drive down. I'm riding up with... I think it was Steve and Sarah. And I'm riding up with them. I'm thinking of, like, all the shit that I could say. I'm like, I got so many ideas. I could say this. And I'm, like, bouncing ideas off Steve and Sarah. And then finally when we get there, I do my whole sappy story of how I've got this list. And at the very end, it said this. And, of course, I'm, like, halfway through this. I'm, like, crying because I can't keep my straight face on. And nobody could hear me. As the end result, no people, because it started.
I guess you did.
I could
hear himself.
But he was 5 feet away. Everybody else, because of the rain, they were supposed to be sitting like right up against the field. Everybody else stayed up underneath the in the concourse area because the rain was coming down and they didn't want to get wet.
I think the guys, your groomsmen can hear you.
The groomsmen can hear me. All the bridesmaids, of course, they're all like. I look over her bridesmaids and her fucking sister is like about to just lose it. Now she's pregnant at the time too, so she's got hormones just running through her system, and she looked like she was getting ready to bust out and cry. And she even came to me after, like, Jesse never said anything like that. But like then Stacy gets like, all right, well, damn, all right, here you go, Stacy. What do you want to say? And she's like, I can't fucking follow that.
That's exactly what she said.
She's like, I love him. Let's do this. I'm like, all right.
I had stuff to say. I just don't want to say it anymore.
And then Steve goes up to do his best man speech, and of course everybody's expecting Steve to be the asshole and the goof off that he is, and everybody's expecting me to be the asshole and goof off that I am. And he just goes up there and does the same damn thing. He comes up with this professionally written thing and just like, boom, drops the hammer on people, and like nobody saw it coming. And then her sister gets the microphone to do her bridesmaid speech. She's like, I can't fucking touch that. Congratulations to you two. And just like drops the mic and walks away. And it's like, yeah, Steve and I fucking took that shit. But Steve, on the other hand, he had a nice little thing written down because Steve's very good with his words. So he had it all, he's pro. He had it all ready to go, read everything, and Hinsky comes out. He had his whole binder ready to go and everything like that. Like, he was all set. And I'm just fucking like, I can't believe I kept up with these two. And I fucking ad-libbed it right now. I'm having a day. This is it, because this ain't happening again. You put me in front of that many people with the microphone, I'm going to shit a brick.
Well, I mean, there's 1 or 2 people listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
Can you remember what you said exactly?
I wrote this like 4 years ago.
It was teary-eyed.
It wasn't that bad. Shut the fuck up. No.
Number 1 is I want to get her phone number. She gave it to me.
No, god damn it. Shut the hell up. It wasn't that fucking bad.
Number 2, because I wanted to call her the next day, and I did. She picked up.
I waited a week, by the way. I waited a week. No, I said the only thing on the checklist was after I met her, I said I wanted to go on our first date, which we did. I wanted to get her an engagement ring and propose to her.
Number 3, remember milk at the grocery? Oh shit! I grabbed the wrong list.
That would have been good to insert. Damn it, that might have broken out my whole teary-eyed.
Oh man.
No, but like,
meanwhile, I got drunk Steve and like a lot in the group. You're doing fine, Dinsky. You're doing fine. I'm like, hey, fellas. You're doing good. You're doing good. And Christoph, after all this time of him and I not really talking, it's not because we disliked each other or anything. It's just he had his thing in with it, right? We're sitting there, and I'm like, how you been? How's it going? And all that. And he was kind of, I won't say, I mean, he was just kind of cold to me, almost, and all that. And I was like, dude, what's up? And all that. And, the first thing he says, like, remember at Bill's wedding, and you leaned over, and you said something about me being with 2 prostitutes and God knowing after taking communion? I'm like, yeah? I was like, but we've discussed this. This isn't new. This isn't, Hinsky did that wronged me. We discussed that at the time. You're like, dude, I'm praying. And that I thought closed the chapter on that because we hung out plenty of times after that. Uh-huh. There was no, after that, that's when he got me the, VIP stuff for Death Clock and shit like that. I'm like,
you've been eating them for years?
I don't know. I guess that was the thing. But then afterwards, he totally like loosened up when we started talking. I mean, it just, I guess, and then a couple days after I didn't show on because I wasn't feeling well on the wrestle thing. We were out in I guess it was the Parkville area. My mom had to hit a mailbox while we were there, so she uses it as we're doing. He's walking across the street to the grocery store. And I'm like, hey, sexy, how's it going? And he walked over and talked with me. He caught me off guard. He was like, and then him and Steve's face when I walked in to the stadium, and they're wondering what the fuck I'm doing there, and you say, hey, he's marrying us tomorrow. What? I felt like I was the extreme secret.
I kind of kept that one tight to the chest because I was like, I'm going for shock value. Everybody's like, oh my God, he's going to bury you. I'm like, nah, we're good. He's pro. Look, he's married 2 dogs. What does he have to worry about here? He's had practice.
We're living in sin.
We're good to go. Reverend Hinsky, what?
What?
Like, who else can I find better? Like, I mean, initially because Billy's married like damn near everybody in our family, and he's buried damn near everybody in our family, which is why I asked him first.
There you go. He can get you on the next time.
Yeah, he's got me next. We obviously asked him first, but then once he said I can only do it if you do the sacrament with me, and it's like hard pass,
Right.
But can you give us the toast? And he's like, I can do that. I'm like, all right, cool. That works.
I thought that was hilarious. The fact that he's like, they want me to go on a time limit, and I'm just like, I'm with you, brother. It's like, you can't time something like that.
That was all the DJs.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna get up there and you want to say something, you're gonna fucking say something. That's just how it is.
DJ, I respect that. I know the DJs are there to. Unless you've got a wedding planner, the DJ's job is to keep things on a schedule.
Right.
But it's a wedding, so what's going to stay on the schedule? Worst case scenario, you cut back on the dance time. Other than that, we're good to go. I don't care if we cut the cake at 6 o'clock or we cut the cake at 10:30 before everybody walks out.
Howdy. How's it going?
Gentlemen,
Howdy, hi.
Is my dad Bill?
Oh my God, he looks nothing like you.
That's Fitus.
How are you, sir?
All right.
He has plenty of stuff to say about weddings, I'm sure.
Avoid them. Run the other way. Don't get married.
Damn it!
It's too late.
Can I interest you in some bourbon, sir?
No, actually, I bought some beer.
There you go.
Yeah, just came back from the ocean and I drank a whiskey in 2 days, so we're back off it for a couple minutes.
I've had multiple people humor the idea of me marrying them. Like they, I've had the conversation with friends like, we ever get married? It'd be kind of funny if you married us, or it'd be cool and
it'd be funny if you married us.
And what was it? My buddy Tony actually hit me up and said like, hey, how would you feel about doing a ceremony? And I'm like, yeah, I could do that. Only just, I started doing basically the same reaction that I did with you. Like the minute you asked me, I'm like looking stuff up and all that stuff. Well, like 2 weeks later, his bride found out that her cousin can do it or something, and so Tony is like, we're gonna let him do it. And I'm like, that's fine. And he's like, well, how would you feel like having a reading or something? We've got something, you could read or something. And I'm like, I don't care as long as I'm there. I'm just invite me and make sure I'm there. And I'm there. I'm just happy to be there. I'm not, I wasn't pissed off or anything, but I guess he felt kind of guilty about initially offering it and having to take it away. And I was just like, no big deal. So I got to read a poem for him, and then that was a good time. But then like you actually asked me, and I'm like, for some reason I think Titus is serious. Like every other time, it's like, it'd be funny if you did that. Yeah, it'd be kind of crazy if Hinsky did it. And I'm like, Austin's like, can you marry us? I'm like, okay, yeah, it's probably gonna happen.
Honestly, he was more stressed out than I was.
I was, because I didn't want to. I've never done it before.
Neither have I.
I was just like,
have you done it since, or was that your one and done?
That was the one time. It'd probably be my only time.
The only person a part of the wedding that's actually had experience with Stacy.
She should have calmed my ass down then. She should have seen my ass was a little nervous. Like, it's okay, you'll do fine.
Is that a dick comment? I feel like she hears this.
I don't want to think you want her to hear that, but she's going to.
No.
So my cousin's daughter recently got married, and the guy that officiated the wedding was dressed fairly normally. He kind of had like the collar thing going.
Chris Farley normally?
I don't know if
Farley normally?
Oh, fairly.
Oh, okay.
Fairly.
I liked his version better.
Okay.
He Tommy Boyed it.
But
Matt Foley, motivational marriage guy.
But tattoo all down his neck and down his shirt.
Nice. That's custom right there.
And he had a line that was probably not officiant or Dr. Hinsky worthy. What was your official title?
Reverend
Hinsky.
I was the Reverend Hinsky, which in hindsight it was funny because I've always attached that to it as just kind of a joke. The whole thing started with me and my buddies out of high school. They thought it was funny because I was one of the only atheists in Curly in my class, and they thought it was well, you can sign up online and you can do all the stuff the priests can do. I'm like, I can? They're like, yeah. I'm like, I'm probably never going to do any of this. But
boys,
my buddy Butch thought that would be funny. I'm like, okay. He's like, you can bless stuff and put clergy in your window and park in the clergy cage. I'm like, that's great. That's awesome. So, as he signs me up for. I've been, ever since then, I've been an official Universal Life Church guy, and so I tell people like, I mean, I didn't have the tag Hinsky back then. I was, just Reverend Stone, and you guys coined Hinsky, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do Reverend Hinsky. I'm sold. I'll do that, and that's how that all came to be. Because you said this with your cousin. What I didn't realize was, because Steve asked how my title should, I was like, Reverend Hinsky's fine, I don't know, and I don't think anything of it. But apparently Reverend is, an actual priest name. What I can do is, the layman or non-religious titles up to a certain point. Reverend is one of those that I can't actually reach. So while he's sitting there and he goes, Reverend Hinsky, and your cousin's one seat, it's me, Sideshow Al, and your cousin, and I'm like, don't hate me. Don't hate me.
Did he look at you like, so what church did you come up in?
I didn't look back. I didn't want the glare. I did not want the glare. When the minute Steve said that, I was like, I'm just going to keep watching Steve. Steve looks like he has a lot to say. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But he goes, marriage is, what does he say? He's like, marriage has...
Marriage is what brings us together today. Marriage, that blessed arrangement, that dream within a dream.
So marriage has the 3 rings. The engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering. Har 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 har.
Whackity schmackity doo.
And then when they did the
joke worthy.
Well, that's funny you say that, because then there was the do you give this woman away to her father, and then after he said yes, the groom and the father did this weird elbow and ass bump thing, So he didn't go to the wedding, so he missed all the
excitement.
The thunderstorm. It was an outdoor wedding. The thunderstorm rolling in, you heard the thunder getting closer. The wind started whipping up. It's like, better get this thing fucking going.
Or somebody get electrocuted. Were they using microphones?
They were.
There you go.
Pretty badly mic'd microphones. So your wedding isn't the only one.
Had it not rained, I probably would have gotten a game going before the wedding was over. I was told I was allowed to use the entire stadium for whatever I wanted for 3 hours.
Man.
So I'm like, I want to get a game going.
I love the picture again with Alex pitching the ball, though. And that kid was quick as a whip, too. I didn't have to show him a whole lot.
No, I got him throwing.
The minute I was like... Because I was sitting there telling him it'd be really neat, right? We're sitting there, this is after the wedding, everybody's kind of moving on, and, Austin's needed for pictures, but they haven't gotten them yet. And Alex was hanging out with me. I was kind of pseudo babysitter because I didn't really have anything else going on. So we're up at the mound, and I'm telling Alex, I'm like, so this is the mound, buddy. I was like, and the pitcher's got to keep your foot on the rubber when you're delivering.
He was
7, 6,
5.
5.
Oh, okay.
Did we get married? We got married a year ago, year and a half.
2 years.
2 years, because 2 years is 5.
So I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then I was like, so go ahead, just let it rip. And he threw it, and it went off in a certain way. And by then, I think you and Christoph had walked over, and then you'd squat down to be his catcher. And then he tore his pants doing it.
Of course he did.
Oh, I'm talking straight from the back of the ass all the way to my
blew
nuts.
out the pants.
There is no hole. There was a good this big of a hole. The ass of my pan went right down the dead center of the crack and everything.
But it was funny because Alex was
Your
doing
balls were hanging out, the breeze was going in.
Easily.
Oh my god.
Alex was doing everything I was telling him because I was sitting there. It's like, all right, so you got to look for the signal, and that's what I told us. I was like, I was like, you can shake him off, or you can say yes if you want to, throw the pitch and all that. And that's what he's sitting there, and he does this whole act. He's like, and then he'd like look like this and like that, and then he'd throw, and like the first one went like off to the right or something like that. And I was like, okay, all right, I liked everything about what you did there. I was like, but this time, make sure when you step towards Austin, and that's where the ball will go. And sure enough, you throw a strike. It was awesome.
He didn't like throwing the ball that much. I mean, if you play catch with him, his goal is he wants to walk as far away from you as possible to see if he can make it to you. Mm-hmm. He's got a good arm. He just doesn't want to practice the whole, like, getting it to you. He just wants to throw it as hard as he can every single time. But his hitting has gotten real good. For a little munchkin that he is, I got videos of him, for this little league, and the coaches are pitching to him. He heard me one game talking about how I want to shoot middle. I'm like, this pitcher's like pump faking me and doing all this other stuff. I'm like, I just want to nail the helmet right off his face. and every time I come walking back in the dugout, I'm like, oh, I'm hitting middle on this guy. And then like Alex came to me after the game. He hit 3 balls right dead center, right back at the coach. After the game's over, he goes, "Did you see me?" I'm like, I got all your hits on video. He's like, "No, but I was blowing up middle." I'm like, oh my god. Like, I showed the video to all the... I'm like, you're saying that again. And I was like, I was blowing up middle. And, like, I put all 3 videos together with him saying that at the end. My softball team was like, dude, you're going to raise him the wrong way. You got to give him a stop doing that.
So when you having a kid, Hinsky?
Oh.
I mean, you tried it with a godson. I don't know if it worked out the way you expected, but... like
he's got the uncle job.
You wanted to bring him up in
I do have the uncle job right now.
Okay.
He was over talking Transformers with Alex and stuff like that. We lost our power while you were over, right?
Yeah.
That was
we were talking Transformers. Like, I'll talk anything kids with kids. I mean, we were going to the Bowie Bay Sox game. Gabe and Katie and his boy Griffin, who calls me Uncle Eric. And while we're driving over there, I'm always goofing off with him. And we were sitting there and started talking about pitching and all because he's in the T-ball and all that stuff. And I was like, so, how do you hold a slider and all this other stuff? And he was kind of geeking out about it. I'm like, that's when, when you want to, you throw a fastball inside, right? And then you push the guy off the base, push him back a little bit, and then you hit him with a slider on the outside. He's like, yeah! I'm like, that's right. Pitching's easy as far as you need to know.
Did you ever have one of those baseballs as a kid that had the fingerprints in different colors?
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of those in years. They still got to make those.
They sell them?
Do they?
I think I've seen one in Dick's. Yeah.
Those things are the great. Now the knuckleball, of course, they never put on there. But
the thing that really he thought was really neat was the off-speed pitch, the changeup, because you don't use the front 3 fingers for the changeup. It's like everything else is regular. It's like your regular throwing thing, but you're holding it with these 3 fingers out here. He's like, what? And he's like, that's what he put his hand up. He's trying to do it. And he's like, got this. I'm like, no.
He's
one of those fingers.
Wrong. All right, the next one. Wrong. No! I'm trying to show Alex the knuckleball now, but of course, when he goes to throw it, it's just all the way over here or all the way over here. I was warming up this Thursday, and everybody hates playing catch with me because I'll just start throwing knuckleballs out of nowhere. And they're expecting, in warm-ups for you just to hit the chest like every single time. But then out of nowhere, I just started whipping out knuckleballs. Dude, they were filthy. Absolute. I'm talking like.
I can tell them to tell.
What? Where I start pushing forward versus not?
No, when you drop out of your glove, you've got 2 different pitches.
When I do that. No, but since you've told me that now, when I do everything, I call it the here's the shitty pitcher we had, not Gallardo, but the guy before him from the Rockies. Jimenez. It's the Jimenez thing. Whenever he pitches, he does this arm drop thing and brings it up and does this. So when I throw the knuckleball, I don't know, it's just the way is the arm mechanics of you getting it out here to bring back and then just kind of fling it forward and stuff like that. But my knuckleballs were filthy. I'm hitting people's ankles. I'm hitting people's hips. I mean, this ball's like maybe an 8th rotation.
I don't think you're supposed to hit him in the hips and in the ankles.
No, it's the fact the ball's going like this, and they're like, is it going? Where am I going to catch it? And then right as they get their glove to where it's going to go, it breaks out one last time, and I'm like, everybody's just like, that's sick, that's nasty. I'm like, all right, I'll stop. I'm getting way too ahead of myself.
What was it? Did they pull you for the kid, or did the kid start the game and then they pulled the kid for you? It was like a friend of somebody, Christoph's, like, friend's kid or something. He brought to one of our pickup baseball games and he was pitching. He was throwing nothing but curveballs. And then you came in and you started throwing. That was the game that me and Bill figured out your
tell,
yeah. He'd sit there and he'd throw every other pitch, come straight out of the glove. And whenever it was knuckleball, because he'd always talk about the knuckleball, before the game and all that stuff. I'm like, oh man, I'm going to throw the knuckleball today. It's going to be great. But the minute he dropped it out, it came under and over and through, but not straight out of the glove. And with the way he stands, you can see. And I was just like, huh?
Look, I could advertise all I want. Nobody was getting a piece of my knuckleball.
It must have improved because we were jacking it out of the yard.
That's because they weren't. Those were the knuckleballs that weren't knuckling. Those are the ones that came out. If I had two knuckleballs, I have the one that's supposed to be the knuckleball where it dances all over the place, or I've got the knuckleball that I flick my fingers too much, and all it does is go up and then just roll right in, and it hangs. So all it is just a hanging ball.
We were just waiting for his hand to drop out of the glove. That's all we were doing. Like, he's going to throw it. It's just a matter of time.
My pitches were tells. Hinsky struck me out like 3 or 4 times. Is it 3 times or 4 times? 3 times?
I think it was 3 times.
Struck me out 3 times in one game, but I'm still the only person to put it over the fence.
3 times, yeah. There's more to that 3 times in one game, though. That was the time that Luke was team captain, and he picked all the worst baseball players on the team, and he was the last one to be picked because Steve was the other team captain. He was picking all the best players, and he was the last one, and he had to go on Luke's team. And everybody else on the team of shitty players got a hit off of me except for him. I was like,
I was always told to play at the level as my team.
That's how it was. Well, it was so much so that even his own teammates were rooting for him to strike out the 3rd time. Of course, we did play heckler's baseball. Yeah. That's how it was. You weren't safe. Your own team would heckle you. It was great.
My favorite part of that game is Luke was up. I still have a video that's on my computer where Luke got up. Now, Luke's this Polish kid that's never played baseball in his life.
He's like Captain Caveman.
Like, most people hold the bat down here. He's holding the shit like up here like this, just choking up on it. And the ball comes through and he hits it, and when he does, he just takes that bat.
It looks like a
bing! Like he just bat tosses like crazy. And when he's running, he's stomping his ass off, and you just hear Ray, yeah, Luke. He gets to first. He gets there. He touches it. He takes an extra step. That's how he stops. I still to this day come across that video every once in a while and I watch it and I'm like, oh my god, how did... And Pantelis is even worse. He's this Greek dude that looks like he looks like he's got some like athleticism in him. And this ball would come and it's just he would have like he would be always holding it on the hand or the barrel of the bat and just go swinging with everything he's got and just blow wind past everybody and miss the ball. But when he got a hold of it, he'd hit the shit out of it because he was just going with everything he had, but he could never make contact with it.
There was one game that I was striking people out pretty good. I was keeping it relatively down. I don't think it was the same game that you struck out in. But Larry was on the other team. And Larry already had 2 strikes on him and decided he's not going to strike out to me because he'd never hear the end of it. So that's when he does this like hockey sticks. He like, instead of holding it like a bat, he kind of moved his one hand on the middle of the bat, and he was just waiting for any ball to come over just so he can get a piece of it in the fair, and he wouldn't be struck out. He's like, there! Well, I was like, yeah, but they threw the ball to first and you got out, but you didn't strike me out. I'm like, yeah, okay. Victory had my all over.
There's a guy I play ball with who does an axe swing, where when he gets up, the bottom of his hand, he's got his pinky finger completely like curled up underneath the barrel or the handle of the bat. This is on the nub, and he's only got 2 fingers on the bottom. But when he's up the bat, he's got the top of the neck like right here.
Right.
And when it comes time to swing, he just slides his hand down like this.
Yeah.
But man, when he gets a hold of that ball, it does not come down for a long, long ass time. He absolutely annihilates it. Have you seen the axe bat commercials for the bat that's got an axe handle for the grip? Instead of being a full cylinder.
Oh no, yeah, because of the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom, the handle is like that of an axe, where it's kind of like instead of it being flat, it's kind of tilted down and it's flatter like this, so you can get a good hand around it. As soon as he heard that, went out and bought. I think it's like $300 for that bat. Went out and bought one, and every single time, man, he's got that grip now, and it's just the torque that comes out of his swing by sliding the hand down. And I mean, because that's how you're supposed to split wood. You're supposed to start at the top and then slide your hand down. And that was he took into it. It's just he would go like this, and they just slide it down every single time. His hand got right about here is when he made contact with the ball, and he's absolutely annihilated. But he doesn't play anymore.
Oh, you'll get there one day.
I'm working on it.
Thanks for listening. Interact with the guys by emailing our podcast at googlegroups.com or leaving a voicemail on 330-577-8445.
One cigar, one scotch, one podcast.
This is Fitus.
I see the Bane side. You don't look like a Bane. You're fat.
This is Hinsky.
I used to like punctuate sentences on going off on people by just yelling "fag" at the end of it.
I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, good, you got those things in case of my pee. Yeah.
This is SquigY0.
Yep, guys, it's Squig here, and it has been a quick 3 months of this podcast. We intend to bring you even more months ahead. We've had really short episodes, just under a half hour in length. These last few episodes have been just about an hour. Some were edited by me, some were edited by Hinsky. We're trying to get another editor or two into the mix as well. And we just want to hear everything that's on your mind right now about that. Are the short episodes better, or are they too short? You know, you're just getting into it and they're over, so you prefer the longer episodes. You want them even longer, because we could do that, I suppose. 330-577-8445. You can leave a voicemail or our podcast at googlegroups.com. We would love to hear what you guys think. We may ignore you, but anyway, on to this episode.
Hey, can I sit on that?
Tell them no, because the pillows need to be there. Go ahead, I want to see you do it.
Yeah, just flop yourself.
Just stage dive right on it. Woo, pillows!
I jumped on it. It didn't hurt because it's so soft.
Yeah, good, you got those things in case of my pee leaks out.
I might need one of those in a minute.
There you go. That's a good spot for that wrapping paper. It's Christmas soon.
It's Christmas toilet paper.
Put that on your seat.
Yeah, get that on my seat.
The worst is when you open up and realize
Hold
it's
on,
huge.
hold on. We'll see if it's good as absorbing vertically.
Need a pillow or something behind you? Not good.
Oh.
Thanks, buddy.
I mean, I made you laugh. We've made you laugh sometimes. I know it can happen.
I'm not at that age yet.
All you have to do is knock a chair on the floor. I'm gone. The funniest part was going to Curly. Every single time someone knocked a chair over in the SDR student dining room, because we didn't have a cafeteria.
Yeah, it was SDR.
Someone would knock a chair over, and everybody in the entire place, door.
Yes.
As loud as possible. And as soon as Hinsky just knocked I knocked it over, or you knocked it over? Who knocked the chair over? Don't even remember. Chair got knocked over somehow, and he just lays into this chair. I've probably told the story about 1,000,000 times.
No, I was leaning on the chair, and I knew it was broken, but I didn't think it was that broken. And it was literally just the top piece of the chair had snapped off, and I'm like, God damn it! And the thing tipped over, and I just went on this tirade, yelling at the top of my lungs.
He verbally abused this chair so bad that had a priest been around to hear it, would have just jumped off a cliff. He laid into it so bad.
He ended up on the floor laughing.
I couldn't stand anymore. I was already hunched over so bad. My stomach was in knots, trying to prevent I was laughing. It's like when someone tickles you to the point you're about to throw up. That's where I was, but he was just making me laugh.
Okay, so you remember when we talked about that leadership course that I was in, and I told you like the younger Hinsky would have had a problem with said stuff. Meet my number one fan for all my previous young Hinsky shit, rants, and everything. What was it? I think I was hanging out with Rob. I think this is how this went. You can correct me if I'm wrong. His cousin hung out with me enough I used to like punctuate sentences on going off on people by just yelling "fag" at the end of it. Well, Rob went into high school back into Curly. I wasn't there anymore. I was graduated now. But he's running around doing that to everybody, and he hears, I guess you heard it from the high school or something, and then we were hanging out one time, and I dropped it, and he's like, hey, Rob does that. I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. It's like Rob stealing my shit and taking it back.
And he did it
something along those lines.
Rob did it sometime in school where he pulled the same thing, and I'm like, that's not your thing. And he's like, what? I'm like, thief. How's he doing, by the way? Any update on him? Or now that
who?
Rob.
Dude, I got as much contact with him as you do.
Well, no. I thought
Bane?
no, who was working with him or for him?
Gabe?
Gabe, yeah, he doesn't work
Gabe,
for him
no,
anymore,
Gabe
right?
doesn't work with him anymore. No. He just had a previous experience that you two were able to link up on. He's like, I was like, this is Rob Bain's cousin, and my buddy Gabe hates Rob Bain, hates Rob Bain, and
I hate him too.
He hates him too. So that was our because Austin subbed in on our golf tournament in my foursome one time, and that was pretty much the front nine was just them two going off about Bain and how much I hated him.
It's a good bonding experience.
Seriously,
still is like $250 of rent.
I believe it.
So.
He was when I went to Curly, my mom's like, hey, you're gonna go to school with one of your cousins. I'm like, Chris is too young.
Right.
I'm going through all the cousins in my family, and I'm like, who are you talking about? She's like, well, it's not like it's one of the Baines. I'm like, okay, so my grandmother's sister is my grandma. If you go down to our part, if you go to like our area of St. Mary's County,
it's second cousin.
Right. If you go to my part of St. Mary's County, there's the Tituses, the Baines, and like the Rayleys, and then there's like one or two other big name families that everybody knows.
Right.
And she's like, it's one of the Baines. I'm like, well, that narrows it fucking down because my grandmother had like 8 sisters. So she's like, okay, you know the guy that lives across the street from Granny that has the cornfield? I'm like, uh-huh. She's like, all right, do you remember Rob? I'm like, which one? There's like 50 fucking Robs over there. She's like, okay, well, it's that's his uncle. I'm like, okay, still not helping me. She's like, well, when you go to school, just find Rob Bain. I'm like, alrighty then. She's like, well, and I'll talk to because my mom talked to his grandma all the time. And she's like, I'll let her know to tell him to look out for you. So I'm like, okay. So I'm just at my locker futzing around on day one. And then this guy comes up to me. He's like, Austin? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm your cousin. I'm like, oh, you're the guy I'm supposed to be looking for. You look nothing like I expected. You don't look anything like anybody I know. I see the Bane side. You don't look like a Bane. You're fat. And then we were like friends all through high school. Like we hung out all the time. We did like, I'd sleep over at his house, and his dad would come home drunk and pass out naked in the bathroom and stuff like that. And we talk anime, and we became friends with Kenny, which is how I met Hinsky and stuff like that. And Kenny played a very important role in my life for a very small period of time.
Okay.
He drove me to my house. This was before I had my license, so he'd pick me up. We'd go over to my house, and I was in the middle of building a computer with him that was running late. I think we were putting Windows 98 on it, so that kind of backdates how far away this was.
Right.
And I'm like, this is going to take us all night long. I should ask Mom and Dad if I could spend the night at Kenny's house. Well, I wasn't home all day, so I just kind of showed up, and then, had to grab a few things. And when I went to knock on the door, nobody answered. So I'm like, what if they're asleep? If they're asleep, I should still let them know. When I opened the door, they weren't asleep. All I heard my dad was get the fuck out, and I'm like, huh, slammed the door, ran down the stairs, slammed that door, ran out to his car, and I got in the passenger seat, and he's like, hey, I'm like, go, 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 go. He's like, what? Like, fucking go. He pops in reverse, peels tire out of my neighborhood, and I'm just sitting there like, I don't have anything to say to him. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, shut up. He's driving. We get about halfway to his house. We're on like 695. He's like, "You okay, dude?" I'm like, "I just walked in on my parents." He's like, "Oh, dude." I'm like, "Yep." That just happened. We need to go get some Mountain Dew. We need to get some burritos. We need to go finish building this computer. I'm a wreck right now. It's like, did you see everything? I'm like, it was dark, but that's enough. I can picture it. I don't want to picture it. So that was the one point in time that Kenny was a part of my life that was like super important.
Yeah, him and Al hung out at college actually. That's how I met Kenny.
Yeah.
Because Kenny was a year behind me and a year before Al.
He's working at the library. I went with him a couple times to work there. Or somebody would call him and be like, I'm trying to boot my computer up, but it's saying boot just failed. He's like, can you go down there and make him look like a dumbass? I'm like, how so? He's like, just walk up. I guarantee you this is the answer. Walk up, push the floppy disk button to make the floppy disk shoot out, and then hit the power button. I'm like, yeah? He's like, just don't say a word, just do that. I'm like, okay. He's like, it's station 212. I'm like, okay. So I go walking down, I'm like, station 212. I'm like, hey. He's like, my computer. He starts going on this whole rant. I'm just standing there like, okay, yeah. Didn't say a word, but I'm like, I just said hey. He goes on this whole story about his computer's broke. I go up, push the button, hit the power button. I just walked away. And he said that. I looked around and he's just like this. Like, God damn it! I should have known this. Everybody knows floppies do this.
You gotta know that at that school. I mean, they're fucking legit on programming. If it was Kenny there, yeah, because that was when I was going.
Now you have to be Chinese.
You had to be Chinese back then too.
Dude, that basketball program was on point this year.
Did you see that video I shared with you about the Asian kid going off about
white
how
privilege?
white privilege isn't a thing?
I'm going to go see Crazy Rich Asians later this week, and I will probably make a video on that and let you know how it goes. But I recently entered into a dialogue with somebody else about white privilege, and naturally, because I'm going to go see Crazy Rich Asians and the fact that it's already being boycotted to some degree on social media is insane, and it's probably worth addressing this topic once and for all. White privilege. I cannot believe it is 2018 and people are still talking about white privilege. Now, this is going to come from the perspective of an Asian American guy in America, or I should just say an Asian person in America. I've yet to see a lot of Asians speaking up about white privilege. We simply just don't do it, people. Have you ever talked to an Asian person realistically about white privilege? Not from the context that they've endured prejudice or discrimination by whites because they were called Ching Chang Chong or all that kind of stuff, but real white privilege from a socioeconomic status. You ever heard of it from an Asian? Have you ever heard an East Asian or an Indian talk about white privilege? I'm guessing probably not, or probably not as commonly as you would hear other minorities complain about white privilege. It simply doesn't exist. It is just one of those things that have been fed to you for the longest time by progressive liberals and a lot of people on the left to keep you exactly where you are and to feel like you are part of this group identity, that you can't get ahead in America, that you can't make something of yourself.
I was like, thank you. I was like, I'm okay, I'll admit, I'm not Asian, they got all the money, totally cool with it.
Also, the black chick in the other video where she tore apart the white privilege glasses, she's like, she gave her a little disclaimer at the beginning, like, oh, by the way.
What are these?
White privilege glasses. Helps you see the world the way we do.
Okay, I think we all know where this is going, but before it begins, let me just point out that if there is such a thing as privilege, Asian Americans will be on top of that list. I mean, they have the highest household income compared to whites and blacks and all these other races.
Yeah, I mean, like, what is the stereotype of an Asian kid is usually...
Really smart,
and their parents are really hard on them. I mean, that's, you don't really have a lot of negative things to say about an Asian kid.
What was that joke? Like, how can you tell an Asian's
bad
broken in your
peripheral
house?
vision?
What's that?
How can you tell an Asian's broken in your house?
I don't know.
Your mailbox is knocked over, your homework's done, and everything's feng shui. So the only stereotype they have is bad driving. That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much
everything,
it.
and you can live with that because they all ride bicycles, and all that other stuff. That's the only bad stereotype they have about Asian people. Now you go, the white people, we got the whole white trash section. Black people's got their whole thing. Indians got their whole thing. Now Indians aren't really that bad either. Just worst case scenario they have is they're taxi drivers. The rest of them are doctors and all that other stuff.
Yeah. Oh, you don't mean American Indians, you mean...
I mean, like, Indians.
India.
No, American Indians, they own casinos.
Yeah.
That's not a bad stereotype to have either,
drink
because
a lot.
they're taking all your money.
But drink a lot.
And they can do peyote, and it's legal.
On the Reds, though.
Yeah, on their reservations. They can smoke all the pot and peyote they want, and they're okay. But let's face it, everybody knows what the peace pipe's been for years and stuff like that. It's been okay since the day you moved into this country. Why is it not okay now? Because they have it all. And we're not allowed to have it.
Yeah, I was watching a thing the other day about opium. When they brought all the Chinese over to work on the railroads, of course they got all fucked up later around all the time. Because they're all fucked up with opium.
That's like every Bruce Lee movie where he's got to go in and there's drugs going on. There's people laying there, disco music playing, they're all just like, rocked off that opium and stuff.
And I told him my story about Jerry and I. My buddy Jerry and I were riding around smoking a bowl.
You didn't wait for me to say it was okay to tell that.
No,
story.
wait,
Go for
fuck
it.
you. Anyway, we're riding around catching a buzz and we're going down the road and Jerry says, there's a little sub shop down the road here, got really good subs. Of course, we got the munchies in the hell. So we go in there and get a sub and a soda, and the old lady in there about 150 years old, and she rings it up and she's like, way off. So Jerry adds it up in his head and tells her how much. She rings it up again, she's still way off. He tells her the third time, she rings it up, she's completely off again, and the guy next to us goes, oh my God, I'm tripping, I can't take it. He runs down the door.
What's the point of a register when it doesn't do the math for you?
Yeah, maybe I won't invite you guys for a podcast and I'll have an entire podcast of him telling drinking drug stories. Sick and Phil days.
We won't take up these chairs. We'll take the soft couches so we can be in a nice audience.
And kick him back.
Yeah, but you know what? I want the unedited version. I'll at least be here to listen. I don't want the SquigY0 approved stories.
Disclaimer, this is before a live studio audience.
Are you allowed to say poop?
That's actually the one thing you can't.
Oh, really?
Everything else is fine.
You can say everything but that. You can't talk
Tell you
about...
my poop story.
I was going to tell you my poop story.
No, you can only say shit.
Okay.
And when you talk about...
Jerry and Bill and I go to Colorado.
Okay.
So we take turns driving. One day I drive, one day Jerry drives. So we get up one morning and have some breakfast and hit the road really early. We're riding down the road and going, man, I gotta really go. So we see this park, we pull over and I go up to the restroom and it's locked. So go back to the car and get some paper towels and stuff and head down through the woods. So I come back and they're standing beside the car, they're laughing at us. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So we snuck down there with a camera to take a picture of you taking a shit. He said we got right up on it and the guy turned around, it wasn't you.
So what happens when you lock the bathrooms? Everybody's shitting in the woods.
That's awesome.
I went to Padonia Station for a WWE wrestling pay-per-view event with a couple of my buddies, and my buddy drove. He was a DD. So I had gotten plastered that night.
Did they let him drink until midnight or 1 a.m.?
I guess.
Or is this an appropriate designated driver?
I was always okay.
No, he was just DD. I don't know about all that. It wasn't. No, JoJo didn't hang with those guys. He graduated with me. I'm much older than that guy over there. Anyway, so we're driving home, and I just all of a sudden I really got to take a piss. And we were driving from Padonia Station, and we were coming back to Dundalk, so we're on 695, and this is about Golden Ring, the 40 exit. And I'm like, I got to piss, dude. He's like, okay, but I can't go inside anymore because I'm 3 sheets to the wind. They're gonna end up calling somebody. He's like, all right, don't worry, I got this. So we come down to where the Dunkin' Donuts is on the intersection that has the Toys R Us and all that.
Yeah, Rossville,
okay. So I'm at the Rossville, and he pulls up behind a Dunkin' Donuts dumpster, and he's like, all right, go ahead. I'm like, all right, so I get out. What he didn't tell me was I should have
24 hours?
I should have gotten out, gone to the dumpster, and hung a right. Because what happened was I got out and walked towards the dumpster and just stood there with my dingus out. I looked to the right, and I'm like, okay, there's building here. I looked to the left, there's everybody on Rossville Boulevard in their cars, and I'm like, one of them had lights and sirens on them, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. I just got back in the car. I was like, I might have just pissed myself a little bit. He's like, why? It's like, I saw a cop. Get me home.
Did you ever hear Luke's story about how he got arrested for peeing on... We were down in Canton. There's one of the churches that's there. Like, everybody has to park next to it.
Oh, no.
And he just goes up, alongside his church after, a whole night of drinking and stuff like that, and just pulls it out and just starts peeing in the corner of this church and stuff like that. And a cop comes up behind him, whoop, 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 and they end up giving him a ticket and a court date he had to go to.
Specifically because it was a church, right?
No, it's because he was peeing in public.
Okay.
So he was given a ticket for indecent exposure and all this other stuff, and he had to do a couple community service hours and shit like that. And I don't know if he got put on a list or anything like that because it was a church tied in with a school, but it was like 2 o'clock in the morning,
Right.
so I don't know if you can hammer them with,
Right.
kids being around at 2 o'clock in the morning at a private school and stuff like that, but...
In New York was actually the first place that they don't give you a decent exposure for that anymore.
I mean, they
Because
got a
everywhere else
guy,
still does that.
I'm going to say they got a guy who walks around in his underwear playing a guitar on a regular basis at Times Square, so I don't know if they can get anybody with too much past that.
As crazy as it is in there, it's even worse in California.
Jeez.
And that's not even people trying to get attention.
Needles
like,
in
when
the
I went over there,
streets.
I'm seeing dudes walk across with like fucking looking like Richard Simmons and shit like that, and just completely flaming.
Hey, I want to dance with somebody.
Hi! Hi! Hi, everybody! Hi! Hey, come dance with me! Come dance with me! Come on! And you! Come dance too! Exhale. That's it. And again, 5, 6, 7, double touch. Side and side. Now walk up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now double here. That's it. You're doing fantastic.
It might have been Richard Simmons.
Might have been, yeah. No, he would have had to look more porn stars in the face. Like, dude had full porn star beard, but the hair was completely wrong. Like, he would have had to straighten it out and gone mullet. But otherwise, rainbow singlet with the soccer shorts on. Not like the low hanging out of your knee, but I played soccer in the 80s.
Thanks for listening. Interact with the guys by emailing our podcast at googlegroups.com or leaving a voicemail on 330-577-8445.
One cigar, one scotch, one podcast.
My car went into passing gear and we took off with dust. Soon we were doing 90, must have left him in the dust. When I peeked in the mirror of my car, I couldn't believe my eyes. The little ass rapper was right behind, I think that guy could fly. Beep, 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 his horn went beep, beep, beep.
Like the Porsche Pan Am? Panorama. Those things are as thick over there as like Nissans are around here. Like, you can't drive anywhere around here without tripping over a fucking Nissan. Over in California and LA, those things are all over the fucking place. And I'm like,
They're the
great, hey,
four-door.
look, it's the 4-door.
Yeah.
They were trying to compete with the Magnum. When I say compete, I use a loose term, but that's when the Magnum came out. Everybody was worried about the horsepower and a bigger car, and they came out with those things. And I was like, this is an insult to Porsches everywhere.
Lamborghini tried a 4-door, failed miserably, stopped production.
Yeah.
It's the Porsche is like the poor man's Maybach. Since you can't afford the Maybach, but you can still afford the Porsche, I'll get the 4-door Porsche.
Yeah, a guy I worked with said he went to California. Said they're riding down the road trying to find this one road and they couldn't figure out what the hell they were doing. So see this long-haired guy standing on the sidewalk and they pulled up and said, hey man, can you tell us where so-and-so road is? And they could tell by looking at the guy that's all fucked up because, no fucking concept, dude.
Good answer.
Oh, no. It wasn't Maybach, Maserati, that's it.
Maserati?
Yeah, you can't. The Maseratis were the 4 doors that everybody.
Yeah.
If you got a.
Yeah, but a Maserati's a poor man's Lamborghini. Or Ferrari.
If you don't want a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, yeah. Like the CEO, my CEO.
I would not the not the 4-door Porsche, but I would take any other Porsche over a Maserati.
My boss had he's got the Maserati Quattroporte, which is the 4-door that they have of it.
Right. That's obvious.
It's not a bad looking car. I mean, it's got some ass to it and stuff like that. But he's a 65-year-old Jewish guy. He doesn't want to have a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or anything like that. I mean, he invests all his money. He looks at a Ferrari or Lamborghini as wasting money and stuff.
No, I've always heard and always actually had the envision of the proud American Italian thinking that they finally made it, and what they have in their lot or in their driveway is a Maserati. They're bragging about how much they're so proud to have this Italian vehicle, and it's like, you could have had any other expensive car than a Maserati. This is just inexpensive compared.
My friend Ronnie was just shit in the wind. He's got a Dodge Charger with a V8. He's got a motorcycle and everything, but he was just dicking around Craigslist and it stumbles upon this Maserati going for like $12,000. He's like, fuck yeah, man, I might go look into this. I'm like, but why? He's like, because I'll have a Maserati. So people are like, what'd you drive here today? Like, my fucking Maserati. Of course, everybody's thinking, like, he's got a new Maserati with it. He's like, nah, it ain't fucking new. It's old as shit. He's like, I wouldn't be shocked if it barely fucking runs. But the fact is, I have a Maserati on my tag and title list and stuff like that. Why do I care?
He says I gave him $12,000 and they turned it over today.
Just leave it in the driveway as like a status symbol.
I mean, shit, you can go out and get like Porsche, obviously you can afford. Anybody can get a Boxer and be happy with it, but you can find used old style Ferraris and stuff like that for not that much.
I really want to get a hold of a Cayman.
That would be kind of hot.
Yeah, the hard top Boxer, basically. Yeah.
What do you think of the four-door Porsche? Myself, I'm sort of like...
Oh no, I can't stand it. Okay, so I am that funky kid that for whatever reason, when I think sports car, the first thing that pops in my head is Porsche. Yeah. So I'm very critical on them when they come up with something like when they came out with the four-door, or when they went with the SUV craze. They came out with the SUVs. I'm like, what are you doing? Stick to what you know and nail it. It's like stick. And actually, when I worked at Lake Mason, Phil had one of the top of the line Super Carrera S's. It wasn't even a straight package, I think, because the spoiler was definitely rally. I mean, it was pimp. Yeah. And he would drive that thing every day, and I'm like, just one day, just let me just sit in it. But we weren't on that level.
Right, then you'd have to be friends with Phil.
You would have to.
He's a very difficult man to be friends with.
He is, very much so.
Yeah. Don't half-ass two things.
Whole ass one thing. Ron Swanson.
I was working at the Len Stoller Ford, which is right next door to Len Stoller Lexus, which was right next door to Len Stoller Porsche. You got to work your way up. So you go from having a Ford to the Lexus to the Porsche. And I'm like, looking over, I'm like, hey, so when you say I can go out and do lunch and I'm allowed to take one of the lot cars so I can learn the vehicle and stuff like that, am I allowed to? They're like, no, you can't go to other dealerships. I'm like, so like the very first day I worked there, they're like, we need to send somebody to go do a coffee run. I'm like, I'm the new guy. What the fuck ever. I'm like, I'll do it. They're like, all right, we like this guy already. He's going to do coffee runs for us. Like, they wrote down their order. I'm like, all right, I got to go pick all this up. What car do I get? They're like, you can take one of the Focuses. I'm like, fucking Day 2 comes by, or my second opportunity to jump in and do a coffee run. I'm like, what can I take? One guy's like, yeah, you can take my car. He's driving a Lincoln Zephyr. I'm like, ooh, this is a much nicer step up.
Right.
Third day comes along. I just completed my first sale, and they're like, what car do you want to take? I'm like, I get to choose? They're like, any car you want. I'm like, I'll take the Roush Blackjack. And they're like, oh, all right. They go up to the thing, throw me the keys. I'm like, word? They're like, yeah. So I go out there. Battery was dead. I walk back inside. I'm like, the battery's dead. They're like, not many people come looking for if they come looking for a Roush and stuff like that, you got to have the guy with the big bucks ready to drop it, and not buy the Cobra they had that was inside.
Yeah.
And we got one of the King Cobras when they came out with it. So I'm like, what do I do? And they're like, well, you can either charge it up, wait 15 minutes, which I don't feel like waiting 15 fucking more minutes for a coffee. Why don't you just take the only difference between the Blackjack and the other Roush 3 that we had was one was black with black racing stripes, black rims, and everything was black on it.
Right.
Or I could get the blue one, which happened to be a convertible with blue racing stripes. So I'm like, convertible part's kind of lame, but fuck it, why not? I'll charge this bitch up so I got it ready for me tomorrow. I'll take this one out. Of course, I go driving. Like one of the guys I was working there was like, dude, you're taking the Roush to Dunkin' Donuts? I'm like, yep. He's like, it's a bit of a drive. I'm like, yeah. He's like, can I go with you? I'm like, I don't care. So like, we pull up next to this light, and some dude rolls up with like some decked out Celica. And he pulls up next to us, revs the engine a few times, and I look over. I got my sunglasses on, so I'm feeling very Top Gun-esque at this point. So like I kind of like look over, and I'm like, I fucking hate Ford, by the way. I'll go ahead and put that out there. I hate Fords. But I'm sitting next to him, like, because my Camaro is parked. I can't park in the lot. I have to park off to the side. So I got my Camaro parked in the woods over here, but I'm driving a Ford Mustang. And I like rev the engine a few times, like, yo, that thing sounds badass. I'm like, did you hear the whistle? He's like, what? I'm like, don't pay attention to the back end. Eyes up front. And I rev it. You hear the supercharger one. And he's like, oh shit, son. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I was getting ready to ask you if you wanted to race. I'm like, I'm all for it. The light turns green. He gets a jump on me because his car doesn't have enough power to burn out. But once I got a chance to hook up on it and stuff like that, like it dropped down a second a little early. I just go flying past him, and he gets up to the next light. He's like, yo, what you got under that hood? I'm like, did you not fucking hear the whistle? I'm like, I got 3 hamsters, and one of them's got asthma. That was him trying to breathe.
That's okay. In Dundalk, we got all the little yo boys with all fixed-up race racers. When Al had the Z06, every one of them wanted to, off the line with him. And Al's like, maybe I don't understand what a Z06 is. Maybe the concept is just beyond them.
I have fun teaching them. I did that with the Camaro. Once I got the Camaro, it was a V6, so that starts me off as a little bit of a pussy. But I threw a rod, pulled the motor out, found somebody that had a V8 who dodged a deer, found a guardrail instead. So he flipped that thing. So his car was a convertible without the front windshield and all this other stuff after the fact. So I bought it for his motor, the suspension, and all the wires that came with it. And finally got that all in my car. And I go driving around for like the first or second time and stuff. Now I'm seeing people who knew of my Camaro when it was a V6. Hey man, you put new exhaust in that car? Sounds great. I'm like, it does sound great. I'm going to go find somebody to race today. And they're like, what? So I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling a little froggy. I took the LT1 out, modified it to an LT4, bored and stroked it to a 383, brand new trick flow heads, brand new manly rods. I mean, I'm talking, I did every single piece of the motor was rebuilt except for the block itself, which was blueprinted and not a single flaw found. I'm like, I found the holy grail of engine blocks to work with.
You're making me get a hard one.
Yeah. I'm starting to get a chubby now since I missed that car. So I've got this car running primo. It's been to the dyno. It's been tested. I'm running as best as possible. And I made sure I wasn't running rich. So nobody can smell me, with all the newness that I have under my hood. But it sounds a lot deeper and throatier than it used to, not going to lie. And then finally, someone's like, you put a new muffler on there? I'm like, yeah, I threw that hooker system on there. That's why it's got the quad tip instead of the twin tip, Flowmaster. Flowmaster is all for sound. I'm trying to go a little bit more pro on it. It's like, oh, so you threw a Z28 exhaust on your Camaro. I'm like, yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. Fuck you, pal. I did. He doesn't know how I got under the hood. Fuck this guy. So I go pulling up, and everybody's hanging around to see how talk, like, who wants to race this, who wants to race that. And this one guy is just thinking his GTI is hot shit. He's like, yeah, I'll race my VW against anybody. Turbo this, turbo that. I'm like, yeah? Is it 4-cylinder, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you want to race my Camaro? Everybody starts chuckling. He's like, what's he got? He's like, dude, it's a V6 Camaro. He's just proud because he's got a stereo system in it. He's like, all right, man, he's got 500. I'm like, I got 3, but I'll give you my stereo system on holdover in case I lose. And I got like a good, I worked at Best Buy, so I got like $1,000 worth of shit for like $200. So I'm like, yeah, you can check my stereo out. He comes over, he looks at it, he's like, hey man, it would look good in my car. I'm like, yeah, it would. Too bad you're not going to get it. He's like, all right, let's fucking do this now. So we go down to Dave's Cove and race down Dave's Cove.
Right.
I fucking annihilated him. We go back, we pull off to the side, I collect my money and stuff like that. We get back to the Wendy's where we're all meeting. He gets out of his car and he's like, motherfucker, I thought you said he had a V6. He's like, he does have a V6. He's like, fucking V6 spanked the shit out of me by like a long shot. He's like, did you supercharge your VS or something? He's like, what'd you do to your car? I'm like, nothing. What the fuck did you do to your car? Crappy ass paint job and then shitty ass decals you got going up the side. He's like, no, you had to do something to your car. That's not just exhaust. I'm like, go fuck with it. You can do whatever you want except pop the hood, dick. He goes under there and like seriously like lays underneath my car with a flashlight. He's like, motherfucker's got a V8 here now. And I'm like, you guys assumed I never popped the hood for a single person. Never raced anybody after that because I made my nut and I was happy.
Hey, Barkeep. What kind of whiskey you got?
Were you in the
It's called Blade. It's called Blade and Bow. It's really smooth. I got this when I was at the Bullet Distillery.
Okay.
It's pretty solid. Would you like some?
I'll take you.
There we go. He wants a shot, so I'll go up to.
That's good.
There you go. It's nice and smooth. It doesn't burn the nostril hairs. It's easy to drink, which is dangerous.
Were you on the night that we were at a Steve party and Porter was
probably
in the bag as usual, and for some reason I craving for Taco Bell, and I'm sitting there trying to like, all right guys, we're all hammered, let's calm down, and then Porter goes, here, I want you to drive Hensky. I'm like, all right, who's going? Like, because he had a Mustang 5.0, and I was like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like. So we get in the car. It's me, him, and I want to say Luke, Steve, and Phil. So 3 grown-ass men in the backseat of a Mustang.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Right? There you go. So we're sitting there, and we get up to the first. We're like on the first light,
And like, I'm being careful because, of course, I've got a couple in me. And Porter's like, Hansky, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, what? He's like, I gave you the keys for a reason. Work this shit. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, every light I'm like gunning it. He's like, there you go. Good Hansky. I'm like, all right. Then, of course, Porter's dad is a cop, and he's like, don't worry, my dad will get you out of it. I'm like, all right. Okay.
Jesus.
We were doing a scavenger hunt on Easter morning. So it was the night before Easter. We're meeting in this parking lot over at Lockheed Martin. And it's my Camaro, my buddy Mike's Camaro. Turtle was driving his V-Dub, and Steve had his Cadillac. So we all split into teams of 4.
What are you looking for?
That's the thing. Luke was the master. He's the one who came up with this like 2-page list of shit, and he would put
780 double pump.
Well, he put points on there for how much each thing was worth. Some were worth more than others, but you had to do 5 of these tasks. If you didn't do the 5, the rest didn't count. So we did our quick 5. We got a picture of us sitting on the bench at the Best Buy, and we did all these cheesy shit little things. But then we're like, we got to go for the big points. I'm in the Camaro. We got all the speed we need. We can get all these tasks done in no time. Lo and behold, I'm only driving with 4 people until I have to pick Panny up because Panny was at work.
Right.
I got this big 240-pound Greek in the back seat with 2 other guys in my Camaro. Now, at least Mustangs had a bench seat in the back.
Right.
Camaro's got bucket seats with a hump.
Right.
So I got we got the one light kid sitting on the hump and stuff like that. And I think it was, did we have Jamie? No, Steve had Jamie and somebody else. Because one of the things was if you get like 100 points for every pair of titties. So, of course, he looks at the girls and he's like, come on, it's for the game. And they're all like, all right, no, yeah. So I had my girlfriend, Amanda, with me. So he got like extra points because he's got all these girls in his car. He's taking pictures of their titties. Now, as long as the faces weren't involved, nobody could time to anybody. But let's face it, between Jamie and the other girl, we knew who had the bigger titties. Just like my girlfriend, not packing a lot, but has 100 points nonetheless, and she's a team player. Kudos for her. But we're driving everywhere, and I got this one dude. Every speed bump I'm hitting, we're driving through the city. One of the things was 500 points for every naked picture in front of the Curly statue.
Oh, Jesus.
So we had Mark out there who was a complete puss and said, I'm not doing this. So meanwhile, you got me, Steve, and Tom are just standing there like this. We took our shirts off, ready to go. We're like, because everybody driving down Sinclair is just staring at your naked ass at this point. So we're like, all right, Mark, we got to do this. We got to do this quick. Ready? Go. All right. So we turned around like this, and we're cupping each other, just getting a nice back shot of our asses, just staring at St. Francis like, I'm so sorry. We got confession in 2 weeks anyway. This will be fine. Did you get the picture? What the fuck are you doing? He's like, the flash isn't working. I'm like, get the fucking flash to work. We're just sitting there like yelling at him. Like, I think the picture he ended up submitting is like Steve's turned around like this. I'm just going back like, what the fuck? And then Tom at this point's already given up, and his hands are just up in the air like this. So there's a picture we had to turn in. Of course, Luke has to review all these pictures to make sure they're all right, because that's how you got the points. Is you needed to have a picture proof. And this is before cell phones had cameras, so everybody's got to turn in their camera and shit like that. And we were ahead by a mile. And he put on there as a gag, 1 million points, bring Ray back. Ray's supposed to be at the Citadel. Well, of course, Ray never went to college. He took all the money that his parents gave him for college and spent it on other shit. They cut him a check, which is the dumbest fucking thing you could do. Oh, man. So Ray ended up owning his own, he went out and bought a t-shirt press and all this other shit, and rented a warehouse where he was, running his shirt shop. Now, he did go to the Citadel a couple times because he had to get proof that he was there from his parents, or for his parents. So Turtle realizes there's no way in hell I'm going to win this. I don't care that much. I'm just out here to have fun. Calls up Ray and goes, hey, you should feel honored. We're doing a scavenger hunt, and there's 1 million points if we can bring you back. He's like, huh, no shit, I'm in D.C. He's like, really? He's like, how long is the scavenger hunt? 3 hours. Yeah, you can pick me up and get me back in time. So you got to get back before the cutoff. Then we got back like 15 minutes before the cutoff, and we're like, we're so solid. We got everything. Turtle's already there. Everybody's already there. Luke comes out, tabulates the points. Austin's team wins, and they beat everybody by like 2,000 points. And Steve's like bummed out as shit. And the girls, of course, are like, I showed my titties, and we did not fucking win. I am not pleased. And Luke goes, by the way, slideshow of everybody's events happens in 10 minutes. So, of course, everybody, you know, all the guys, we instantly think, we're going to see some more titties, because there's like a total of like 9 girls in this whole thing. So we're like, yes, this is awesome. And then Turtle goes, oh, wait a minute, I forgot, we got something in our trunk. Because like, well, there's a couple other things, like steal a parking cone and all this other stuff. And I'm like, dude, you lost by like thousands of points. How are you going to win? Ray was sitting in his trunk for half an hour. With a 6-pack that he had finished the entire half hour. Because he goes up, he's like, everybody needs to come out and see this. And of course, nobody knows what's coming. So we're all like, what are you talking about? He's like, I think I got enough points. Like, would you go to a traffic cones shop and steal the fucking traffic cones? What could this possibly be? He goes up, punches the trunk release, and then you just see the thing just pops open. Ray's just sitting here like this. He's holding his like, about fucking time, I'm on beer 6 and the bitch is almost empty. We're like, what? Luke just comes out, he's like, Turtle wins, 1,000,000 points, and we're just sitting like pissed off because there was like $300-400 on the line. And I'm just like, I just took my beer and I like fucking threw it into the hot tub. Like, this is fucked up. This is bullshit. Like, I go inside. I just sit down next to Steve because he didn't feel like coming out because he had already lost. And I just sit down. I'm like this. Is like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I just fucking lost. He's like, how? And then Ray opens the door. He's like, hello, everybody. And Steve's like, where the fuck he come from? He's like, isn't he supposed to be at the Citadel? He's like, fuck no, man. I haven't been to the Citadel in 3 months. He's like,
glad to hear you're a Chevrolet man.
mm-hmm. Bow tie. The only car I had that was not a bow tie was my very first car, and the reason I got it was I was 17, didn't have a shitload of money, and my parents' friend said, we got a car, we're getting rid of it, it's worth nothing, it's got 280,000 miles on it, and they drove from Baltimore to D.C. for work every day. Wow. It was a 1990 Honda Civic LX, 4-door stick shift. My parents were like, perfect, if you're going to learn to drive a car, you need to learn to stick, because God forbid you go to a party, somebody's hammered, you got to drive home, the only car available is a stick shift.
They're now known as millennial anti-theft devices.
Yes, and I have a millennial anti-theft device now. But that was the only car I learned on. Of course, it's got like 83 horsepower. I'm redlining the bitch every single time just to keep up with traffic. I blew through 3 clutches in 2 years. Like, it was bad. My parents thought I didn't know how to drive stick, and that's why I was burning up clutches. Then I went to a Camaro, another Camaro, a couple Blazers. You know, and I stuck with Chevy. I've always wanted to, Chevy the entire time. I've always been a Chevy guy, but it was that car, and my dad had a Mercury Sable that he was saving for my sister, so she was getting a free car. I never got a free car. She got the free car. Guess who never learned how to drive? My sister. So guess who got the car? Instead of driving my Camaro to and from everywhere, just burning up gas and stuff like that, and putting miles on it, I got to drive my dad's Mercury Sable around and make that my daily driver, which maxed out at 85 miles an hour if I was going downhill with the air conditioning off. Yeah. But it was a nice little, it was smooth as shit. If I hit speed bumps, the whole car just kind of like dipped in with it and stuff like that. Not my cup of tea though. I don't know, every Ford I've gotten in has felt really cheap. Every Dodge I've gotten in is broken. And,
Al just got his Silverado this past year.
Does he have the one where the emblem in the center glows?
No, but it's blacked out.
Nice.
Well, what happened was Al's very methodical about his stuff. He's never in a rush. He always wants to pick the perfect time to hit up the salesman. And even if it's something that he really wants, he can walk away, the next day and not give a shit.
The way he got the Z06 was fucking money.
But we were testing every truck in the world because he'd never driven a truck before. Now Larry and I are truck guys. Like we can talk about trucks, driving and what we like and all that. And we both like, we like the bow tie. That's our favorite. And the experience we had was my mom and my dad got a Suburban from the Bates family up in Hagerstown that they just wanted to get rid of, and my mom wanted a truck, and they worked it out however. And it already had like 150,000 miles. By the time my mom traded it in, it was 267,000 miles. The engine was fine. It was the body that was breaking down. The engine was perfectly fine. And they had like an early or late 90s or early 90s. Yeah, it was so 90s, they had an LT motor, and those things are bulletproof. So she traded that in, but at the time she traded that in. That was after my dad passed away. So she traded that in. He had an FJ Cruiser because he was kind of all over the place. He traded the Z4 in for that. Remember, he had the Z4?
Yep.
So he traded the Z4 in for the FJ because he just thought it looked cool and he wanted it. Because the truck that he loved, we had an Isuzu Amiga, which at the time was competing with
Al
the
had
Jeep.
that, right?
Yeah. Well,
I like the back because he would drive around and the back was off. I'm the only person out in the open while they're
it was
covered
fun
up
as
front.
shit. It was fun as shit. It was a fun truck. We used to, and when we'd have big snow banks, we'd go out in a 4-wheel drive and just hit the snow banks and pull ourselves back out. I mean, it was a fun truck. But my dad wanted something like that, and the closest thing he could find was the FJ, so he gave that a try. But then after he passed away, my mom had Q35 that I talked her into, Suburban, or actually it was a Q36, and then she had a Suburban and then the FJ. So she traded everything in, and she's got the Yukon Denali now because she really. And then, well, me and Al were like, well, you got a Suburban at 150,000. It lasted to 267, and it's not the engine.
Right.
I was like, so if you get this Yukon, you're getting all these leather interior, all this stuff, all the trimmings. You're getting it for no payment because you're trading everything in.
And you got it for 230,000 miles at least.
And yeah, you've at least got it to that point. And so she's had it. It's been perfectly fine. And it's automatic all-wheel drive all the fucking time. Well, so when Al, of course, starts looking around, he starts test driving everything. And in some of the cases, the only thing that me and Larry put our foot down is he wanted to test drive the goddamn Ridgeline. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. You won't catch me in that faggot truck. Period. And he's like, okay, all right. So we went down North Carolina, and he hadn't test driven the Ford or the Dodge yet. And I already knew what he was getting with the Chevy. So we went and test drove the Dodge. And with the Dodge, I can honestly say that the Dodge felt like a fucking hot rod off the line. For a pickup truck, they had the punch off the line.
Yeah, they put all the Hemi stuff in it.
I was like,
Hemi in it?
hmm? Yeah, it had the Hemi in it. And I was like, well, that's good if you want off the line.
Right.
I was like, what are you looking for in a truck? And I was just putting that in because he could have bought a Dodge. I wouldn't have cared. I mean, if it was me, I probably would have walked out with a Chevy, maybe a Titan. But we went and test drove the Ford, and going into it. Now I had experience with the Ford F-150 because I worked for a cabling company before I worked with Lake Mason, and they always felt. You guys can correct me if you're wrong, but for me, whether I was in the driver's seat or if I was in the passenger seat, it always felt like it was this. I always had this sense of like the body was bigger than what the feeling was in the vehicle. Like I could feel the engine's here, and I'm in the steering wheel or in the passenger seat, but it just feels like the rest of it's just an empty shell. Like whenever, and it was not a lot of power. It was, and the one that he test drove wasn't even the 8. It was they're doing a twin turbo V6 now because it's better gas mileage or some horse shit. I don't know, but he took that, and I'm like, okay. I was like, so we took that test drive, and he's like, okay, so what do you think? I'm like, honestly, he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, it's got the same problem that all Fords have had for me. It feels like this bloated thing that the power feels like it's enough because the body itself is just a shell. I was like, but what you're looking at is a turbo engine. And the one thing that I've always been skeptical of is turbos is once a turbo goes out, you've got whatever the engine is without the turbo.
Right, and then if you have to rebuild, it's an expensive-ass rebuild.
Right.
Too.
I said, or we can go get a V8 and something. So Ford was out of the running pretty quick. Then we went and did the Dodge.
He didn't try any of the F-150s with the V8 in it?
No. It was because what I told him, I said, here's what you're going to have, is you're going to have the V8 feel to it. I was like, but honestly, in my recollection of driving the V8, it wasn't that much different from what they did with the turbos, to be truthfully honest.
I drove when I was at the lot, I drove their F-150, 250, and I even had a 550.
Plus, I knew that the 150 wasn't going to outdo what the Hemi did.
No.
So if he wanted something off the line, it would have been the Hemi. I was like, but if you're looking for something comfort, it's going to be Chevy first, maybe Nissan. But the difference is that Nissan's body and chassis are heavier because they're still using all steel. I was like, worst case scenario, Chevy's body's going to be slightly less heavy, and it's going to be a more comfortable ride. And that's
Chevy's
what he ended up getting was the
better
Silverado.
towing capacity and can haul a lot more weight and stuff like that.
I think he found that was comparable with the Titan.
Right. I just every Ford I've gotten in just feels like you're saying, you see this big ass truck, and when you get inside, it's not like the Chevy feels like Bob Vila put it together. It's big on the outside, but when you get on the inside, it's bigger.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a lot of room. There's all sorts of stuff you can do.
We just drove it down to North Carolina. Just took the Silverado down. We were quote unquote retired the Yukon. Me, my mom, my brother, and 2
So
full-grown
you got a
Labrador
four-door?
retrievers. Yeah. I told him if he's going to get a pickup...
Is that a full-size bed or a short bed?
No, it's full-size.
That's a big fucking truck.
So, I told him get all 4 doors.
Well, if you got all 4 doors and a full-size bed, he's the guy that's got to be that dick that's going to take 2 or 4 spots in a parking lot.
I don't think it's full-size then, because it's not a full... Yeah, it wouldn't be full-size then.
So he's got like a
it's big
6-foot
enough
bed?
It's big enough to put his motorcycle in if he has to. That was the purpose of getting the truck.
Get a 6-foot bed for that.
So.
And he's got a crotch rocket, so those are, you can fit those in easily.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So we're over at by the CarMax at the Chevy dealer, and this is early, okay. And my brother likes to find something that he can hang his hat on, because he's not the type that wants to get talked into a purchase. So you gotta find something wrong with the vehicle or something that you really need. The problem was he brought me and Larry with him. So he's sitting there. We test drive this Chevy that honestly, Larry and I mean, it's murdered out black pickup. The mileage was right on the money for the years. Everything seemed just perfect. The interior was phenomenal, and Larry and I would have walked off that lot with that fucking truck. For the price that they were asking for the mileage that they had, we probably could have talked them down. And so Al goes, test drives it, comes back, and tells the salesman something or whatever. And we get in the car, and we're like, so what'd you think? Like, Larry and I are like, that's like a really good fucking deal. You could probably knock off about, we figure maybe another $2,000 to $3,000 off of that if you play your cards right and pick the right time to buy it. He's like, yeah. He's like, I didn't want to get walked into it, though. So I told him that, I really want a backup camera. Larry and I were like, what? You need a backup camera? I'm like, Larry and I... We were beside ourselves. Larry never let him down for the next month. Anytime they hung out, Larry's in his ear about, well, I was out with my girlfriend the other day, and we were looking at trucks, and Al's like, yeah, and Al's completely oblivious to it. He's like, yeah, I was looking at this Toyota 4Runner, and we took it around for a spin, but you know what? I just couldn't handle it. And Larry would make up the figures to be like, Al's like, you're insane for not buying it. He goes, didn't have a backup camera. And I was like, okay, all right. And Larry gets pretty vicious. He'd be like,
oh, yeah.
I had to change my tampon and be like, oh, I need a backup camera.
That reminds me, we had a truck we were selling, a company I worked for. It's a little S10 pickup, real nice shape and everything. So this guy comes down, he gets in, he starts it up, and he pops the hood, and he walks around, he looks down, and that bumper with a hole in it where you put a ball for towing something.
Okay.
Well, one guy at work always towed his boot with it, and then he'd take the ball off. So the guy says, well, where's the ball at? I said, well, the guy puts it on and he tows his boat, but he takes it home with him. Oh, man, he said, that really bothers me. I'm like, he does the same routine, gets in the truck, starts it up, looks under the hood, does all this shit 3 or 4 times, and then walks to the back and looks at it and goes, yeah, that really bothers me. And I said, get the fuck out of here. Fucking asshole.
What do those cost?
What, the ball?
To get the ball.
$50 maybe.
Big fucking whoop. You can go out and buy a ball. You can buy whatever ball you want. I had 3 Blazers. I had the 2.8 V6, which was an absolute garbage piece of motor. That thing you could slam on the gas and it would go absolutely nowhere. Then I got the 4.3 Vortec, which is the 93.
Right.
That thing had some ass to it. That was by far, if you ask me what Chevy's done, that's by far Chevy's best motor is their V6 Vortec. They've got the good they got the good LSs and the good LTs, but nothing could break the 4.3 V6 Vortec that they made.
Are they bringing back? Is it Chevy's bringing back the Ranger, right?
That's Ford.
No, the S10. Then they're bringing back the S10.
Are they? I know they brought the Colorado.
I
back.
heard they're bringing back because
Colorado's only bad.
Ford's bringing back the Bronco.
Yeah,
and I've heard that Chevy's looking into the Blazer again. Well, are they talking about bringing
the Blazer? The Blazer is
wow.
The Blazer's been greenlit and it's coming back next year. It's not going to be an SUV. It's going to be a crossover.
Wow.
Just like what they did with the Explorer. The Explorer is no longer an SUV. It's a crossover. There has been talk about bringing the S10 back just because the Ranger is going to come back. And all that Chevy sells are big ass pickup trucks,
right.
Except for the Colorado, which has been downsized a little bit. But some people don't want that big ass pickup truck. They just want a pickup truck.
Al was talking himself into that Colorado.
Why?
Okay, here's why.
He could get a decked out Colorado.
He just wanted something to tow his motorcycle. That was his full intended purpose. But every time I saw him get into that, my brother is built like I am, and when you get smaller trucks. it's
They're
not as
easier
easy to get in and out. I mean, I had an Xterra and I loved it to death, but it's, you know, if I had to go back again, I'd probably get a V8 big fucking truck now. I don't think I could get back into an Xterra.
Just like you say with the trucks, unless you go down to the lot and stuff, if there's 90 trucks there, they're 89 on the fucking floorboards.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't get a regular Colorado. They don't make it.
Right.
You can get a two-door Colorado, but the only two-door you're going to find is at the workers level, where it's got the plastic front bumper and it's just the bare base steelies around it.
They're literally just contractor trucks.
Yeah. And usually when you get contractor trucks, you're placing an order before you are just going to the lot saying, I need a truck that's for for work purposes. Because when I was working at Len Stoller, we actually had a contract with, I mean, there are a bunch of people that have Ford deals where they go to the lot and say, hey, I'm looking for a white four-door pickup truck. And it can't be, if it, like for instance, Stacy's brother-in-law works for Carroll Fuel.
Okay.
And they pay for his truck, they pay for his gas, but they said, well, for you to have a work truck, you have to pick, we don't care if it's a Dodge, Ford, Chevy, whatever, it has to be a four-door white pickup truck. He could have gotten the base model, he could have gotten the top
all
of the line.
trims, right.
And they said, we'll pay, I think, up to like $450 or $500 a month towards this truck.
Right.
So he went, his first thing is he went to the Chevy dealership, they didn't have any in four-door. He went to the Ford dealership, didn't like the way the Ford felt. Went to the Dodge dealership, they had a four-door, they had it with all the stuff that he wanted, so he's like, fuck it, I need this for work, I'll get it. He's owned the truck now for 4 years. The radio's been stuck on 98 Rock for 3 of them. Not a bad station to get stuck on, but it's got that touchscreen in-dash shit. And I sat there like, I'll do the research, I'll fix it for you. I mean, I've been on forum after forum. I've called Dodge to help them out. Their radios are notorious for being pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And the only, and honestly, when the dealership told me, dude, honest to God, you're better off just buying an aftermarket radio and putting that in there. I'm like, hey man, that's the wrong fucking answer coming from the dealership.
They can't even do like a software upgrade or something? It's actually a hardware problem?
They've never been able to fix it.
I can't
firmware
remember,
upgrade
I can't
after
remember
firmware
the
upgrade.
pieces of the parts, but I remember hearing that if you took like the parts of this Chevy engine, the parts of this Hemi engine, and the parts of the Ford engine, you probably had the perfect truck and you didn't have to worry about a goddamn thing ever.
The best truck you could build, from my understanding, is a Ford rear end. Their rear ends are like absolute bulletproof. I know a couple guys that have Corvettes.
With the 9-inch rear.
Yeah, you get one of those rears put on and you're good to go. The Chevy motor is probably by far the best.
Yeah, but you don't. I don't know, because the problem with the Dodges are primarily the transmissions, if I'm not mistaken.
They've got.
I think Dodge has always been a transmission issue. The engines have always.
Hold on, what's Ford? We have Chevy has Allison. Who's got?
Mopar's.
No, Dodge advertises a different transmission though. It's not Mopar that builds their transmissions. It's something else.
Is it? Okay.
I can't remember what it is now.
Yeah, back in the old days with the slant sixes, them motherfuckers ran for $1 million. You couldn't kill them. Anyway, talking about Carroll, back before they actually started with the gas stations and stuff, they just were more or less an oil company for furnaces and stuff. I worked on 25th Street, and one of the big guys, I didn't find out who it was, one of the original founders of the Carroll company had died. So they lined up all the cars and stuff in front of our building to go to the funeral. In front of the line was a 1929 chain drive Mack truck. If that wasn't fucking cool.
Now, how did Carroll get to where they're at right now? I mean, because it's not.
I heard
the
family is a bunch of potholes.
No, but I mean, like the gas stations popping up was a surprise to me. I'm used to what you were saying. It was them being a like home fuel.
Right.
Yeah. And when I started seeing the gas stations pop up, now I remember seeing a Carroll Fuel gas station, but it would be like one in like out in the boonies somewhere.
You know how much money selling gasoline brings in, especially now.
Yeah, but the stations that they've taken over have been
Carroll also does. They do all their own. Plus they take care of a lot of the BP stations around here. And that's the thing is he's got a Carroll Fuel card, which means he can go to Carroll, BP, and I think there's one other one that he can go to, slide his card through, and it goes right to the main account.
Yeah, but it's cheaper now to pay cash, which is kind of.
Well, if you go and pay with your debit versus credit.
Right.
If you go to Carroll or BP, I know all the Carrolls do it as a fact. if you go to Carroll and you do a debit card purchase, you get it at the cash price. So there's a nice little tidbit if you want to save 10 cents per gallon. And the part is that he got the Dodge. And of course, as soon as he brought it home, like, I started shitting all over him. I'm like, really? You had an option to buy any white pickup truck with 4 doors, and you chose to get a Dodge? He's like, it's the only place I can find that had it. I'm like, do you know how many dealerships there are out there? Did you try calling around, or did you just go to like Jerry Chevrolet or Coons?
Yeah, if they want to make a sale, they'll pull this shit. I mean, like when I got when I got my Golf R, they didn't have the Golf R in the color I wanted.
Just get it from another dealer.
And that's what they did. They literally in over the weekend drove it down from Philadelphia.
He walked a lot and just didn't see it, so he just turned around and left. He never talked to anybody.
The best part about the R was this. So I went and test drove the R. There was 2 of them in the immediate Baltimore area. There was one off of 40 West, and then there was one at the Volkswagen dealer off of, like, I think it's a Parkville. What's a
Heritage?
Heritage. So they were the same. Both of them were the Heritage mile 1. One was on the 40 West, and one was on this side. So I went out. The one they had here was white, and I didn't want white. I wanted black or blue. The one that they had on 40 West was black. So, but the tell-tale was this. I went because online it had said this is the amount of money you can get a Golf R. And Al saw it. And my brother, he knows about, like, what you can get. He's like, this is an insane price. It was like $24 for one of their high-end Volkswagen Golfs. I mean, it was all-wheel drive. It would be the equivalent of their STI.
Right.
Okay, Al was beside himself. $24,000. He's like, is that on the road? He calls him up, talks to this chick. Yeah, on the road. We can get you in there. $24,000 on the road, no problem. And he's like, okay, on the road, tax title. Yeah, no problem. Like, I was like, all right. He's like, the deal's right. He's like, let's go out and see. I'm like, all right. Went out, that's when I saw that it was white. And I'm like, well, we've got the price. Is there another Heritage dealer? That's when we went out to the West, found that they had a black one, and we told them, I was like, well, the one out Heritage there is saying 24 on the road. They're like, no, we can't do that. I was like, but you guys are the same company. Well, technically, yes, but no. That's the price they quoted you. We can't come down that low. I'm like, okay. So I go back. We're test driving the vehicle, and I was like, I love it, but I want black. So they end up, the salesman calls up the first place he calls the West, and they say no. They have a right to turn them down. Right. They can't trade the colors. So then the guy brings it in for Philadelphia. Sale, not guaranteed. I haven't signed shit yet. Brings it in from Philadelphia. Here's the color. Here's what you want. Took it for a test drive. Loved it. Felt like, the other. They put some extra miles on it. But I was like, okay, whatever, for the money I'm paying, it's going to be insane. So we pull into the gas station to fill up before going back to start talking, price and all that. And I'm like, all right, so all of this, everything here for $24K on the road? And he's like, what? I'm like, $24K on the road. I was like, my brother called here, and he said that $24K on the road, tag title and everything. The guy's like, I don't think we can go that low. I'm like, your salesman said on the road, $24K. And your brother did this. I'm like, I'll get him on the phone right now. And I was on the phone talking to him. Guy's like, who'd you talk to? He's like, okay. He's like, well, he says we'll go back. We go back. He goes to talk to his manager. And his manager's like, shrugging like this, like, I'm watching, I can't hear him. Here's when I can hear him. The two of them walk out of the office, walk into this office with this young lady, the only saleswoman there. And that's where I hear, the fuck were you thinking, before the door closed? And then he comes out, and I hear that she's calling my brother a liar. And I'm like, now you guys are really up shit's creek. I was like, you want this car, it's coming at $24K. And they're like, well, your brother says we're going to go with the customer. Customer's always right. And I was like, wait a minute. She just called my brother a liar. And they're like, sir. I'm like, look, I want this car. I was like, but you guys are really hamming this up right now. So the guy goes, all right. You're going to get it for 24. He's like, is it okay if we just, if we could just, taxes and title maybe a little bit higher and all that. So we settled about, and the car is like a $32,000 car.
Right.
I settled around $26,000. So I only put an extra $2,000 on it. But I was on the road with 26, and for them to fix the situation, I guess on their end, is how Al explained this to me, was we'll give you the 0.0 financing on your car, or whatever it was, 0.9, I think. That was their, like, the high-end thing, and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm just like, I'm already walking out of here with the deal of a fucking lifetime.
But
like,
to hear them sit there and like, he's a liar. It's like, okay, well, You just call my brother a liar, so fuck you. I'm going to go over to this other dealership that actually has it. And talk
But
to
they
them.
wouldn't meet those prices. I had them out of the ball of my hand. I was getting a $32,000 car for $24,000. Now she called my brother a liar. If you're lucky, I'm getting it for $24,000.
Yeah. Well, I call you a liar, give you a couple of oil changes and shit like that for free.
Oh, they had all that. They had the free oil change and all that shit. They had to. It was their high end. I had it for 6 months of that road.
Thanks for listening. Interact with the guys by emailing our podcast at googlegroups.com or leaving a voicemail on 330-577-8445.
One cigar, one scotch, one podcast.
I loved it. For hands down, drive-wise, because I even had it during the winter time where we had ice on the road and everything like that, and our drive from Owings Mills to Dundalk, sometimes you can either take 695 around or take those windy roads down 83. And man, I would take those roads down 83, and those all-wheels would hold, stick, hang every turn. I was enjoying it. Then I had to go play golf, and I tried to fit my golf bag in, and I'm like, really? I'm like, it's too small. I can't hang.
My ashtray was full, so I sold the car.
That's pretty much it.
But the Miata could fit the golf.
Now there was more problems. It's German, and Germans have a lot of electrical problems. So I'm getting all the alarms and alerts on shit, and I send it in, and they're like, there was no problems. How can there be no problems if there's not an alert going on? Considering it's their high-end golf. It's everything needs to be perfect, and then they fix the alarm or whatever, say everything's perfectly fine, and I drive home, and 2 days later, same fucking alarm.
Did you ever
Everything's fine.
Did you ever watch the Top Gear episode where Clarkson just shits all over the golf? He's like, the newer the golf gets, the worse it gets. It gets heavier. They add more bells and whistles. And by bells and whistles, they got traction control and steering diff and all this other adjustable shit. So you go from having a car that was like, 2,000 pounds with 180 horsepower to 300 horsepower, but now the car weighs like 2 tons. So what you're doing is you're basically compensating for how fat your car is getting and adding more power to just level things off. Because they then took like 3 or 4 different Volkswagens through time, ran them through their test track, and guess who won? The OG Volkswagen, because it weighed nothing. It had the power that was more than the power to weight ratios and stuff like that. And he's like, so after watching all this, even though I said I love the color, I love the feel, it's comfortable as hell, I'll take the 74. And it's like, okay, it makes sense. He was just talking about how awesome it was that it came out in 2016, but he goes ahead and takes the very beginning one. And, okay, so why'd you walk me up that road for the car that you don't like, but talk so nicely about it? Just like that, I just got back from Michigan. I flew with my friend to Michigan.
You have a friend?
I do.
All right.
Besides
one.
the people in
You
this
have a
room.
friend in Jesus.
We went to school to get that. Afterwards, all the time.
Failed Jesus class. So
Left the building.
I flew with my friend to
That was
Michigan
Elvis.
to pick up an STI. And it was a 97 STI, so it was like one of the earlier STIs, not like the bug eye headlights, which are only WRXs, but it was the
Right.
Hawkeye that they call it.
Right.
And there's only one thing on there. There's traction control, and then there's the adjustment for rear differential to rear and front differential if you want it to be 50-50 or if you want it to be like 20-80. That's it. No other fucking 80 different controls of controlling this car. It had 80,000 miles on it, but we drove it from Michigan back home, and I asked Jeff, I'm like, why do you have to go all the way back to this car versus, or was it 07? I'm sorry, it's 2007. Why did you want this? I mean, I see like Craigslist ads and other car companies, dealerships selling newer ones for a little bit more than what you paid for this one. And I know he went out and bought new suspension for it already. He's got a new front lip on the way. He's looking to trade his, STI wing trunk for somebody who's got just a WRX wing trunk. And he's probably thrown like another $1,000 or $2,000 into it for exhaust and, chipping it and all this other stuff. Like, you could have just gotten all this with one of these newer ones with less miles. He's like, yeah, but their transmission is glass. They're too fucking heavy. You know, they add 15 horsepower, but they added 300 pounds. It doesn't make sense. Plus, this one's going to last me forever. I'm like, I'll go home and do some research. And I did, and everything he said's true. Like, you know, when they first, I'm always suspect on the car when they first come out with it, because they're going to find some problems with it.
Right.
So I'll never buy a first year, but the second year that it's out, that seems to be always the winner. And years and years after that, they have to add this bullshit for safety, and they got to put not just 2 airbags in it, but like 90 airbags in case you drop your soda. We don't want your soda getting all fizzy, so the airbag for your soda goes off. And, you know, anytime you buy a Subaru, because Stacy's got her Crosstrek, you know, they're all built to withstand any kind of impact, and you can walk away from it.
Right.
I've seen some Subaru accidents that look absolutely gnarly, but the driver walks away with a piece of glass from the windshield hit me in my cheek and cut my cheek. Like, that's fucking it. Your car looks like somebody ran it over with a train, and then, like, Bigfoot shit on it and pushed it off a cliff. How is that possible that you walked away with
that's how Volvo used to be before they started losing money and needed to compete with the more sportier cars.
Right. But Subaru doesn't have to worry about that. All they advertise is the rally-based stuff. And guess what doesn't exist anymore? The WRC. So how the hell are they still able to sell this as a rally car? When rally
WRC still out there?
They
just hardly have anything.
They got Volkswagen Skull.
Hey, look, man, I like watching my Volkswagens and shit. Leave me alone.
I like the STI, and all of a sudden you got, what's his name, Ken Block going from STI to Fords and stuff like that in all his videos, and he's racing.
Focus did come out and fuck everybody when it first came out.
Well, the RS came out and tore ass, but until then it was all Subaru and all.
Yeah, but Subaru had a 4-door when they had the.
That's what I hated. I'm looking
awesome. Hey, there's a guy in Dundalk right now. Okay, he's got a 2-door. Yeah, he's got a 2-door Subaru. Thank you for that. I would have said the same thing. 2-door
Subaru RS.
Bug-eye Subaru. He's got the front end.
They didn't make 2-door Bug-eyes. They started. That was the first one they came out with 4-door only.
And maybe he's mix mashing because the front end is like a blacked out, like not blacked out painted, but like the fucking pre-rust paint spray. And then the back end's a different color, and it's funny because I mean the guy it's a hoopty, okay, and then, like the front end's like pressed in.
I think I know what you're talking about. I saw it on Craigslist.
And I'm hoping that dude's gonna like fix it up, but I'm looking at it and I'm like I just want that 2-door. That's all. Like I know it's junk, and I know I probably have to spend all kinds of money to get it to where I want it to be, but the fact that he's driving around in a 2-door, whereas everybody else has to have a 4-door. I mean, Al's got the STI. He's got a 4-door hatchback. He loves it, but every time we talk about it, I mean, I could give or take. I could do hatchback or just the standard sedan, but the idea is I want the 2-door because it's smaller, lighter, and you could probably hang a turn a lot better than a 4-door. But all their cars basically, I mean, because everything's basically, they don't have anything other than the WRX frame, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So everything is the WRX. Even his wife's vehicle is just one that's raised up with bigger tires, basically, but it's considered an SUV-ish.
I actually seen the guy next to me in the red light. This is a new guy. He had painted his rims fluorescent orange, including the tires.
Okay.
I was like, okie dokie. What planet are you from?
Well, it's funny because the classic Subaru Championship WRC car was the Subaru Blue that they have, but the rims were gold back when they were dominating.
2.5 RS.
And the funny thing is I've seen people, because they can't get the rims, paint their fucking rims gold because they want the look. And I'm like,
yep.
No, it's not the same. Not in the least.
I'm actually taking my car. I was supposed to yesterday since I've taken off. I don't take vacations. I feel like if I take a vacation, I'm going to fall behind on work. And
it's okay to do that.
I'm like the only person at my job that knows how to do like 2 or 3 things.
Yeah, but sometimes you need to take a vacation.
I know, but I just found out that I've got 168 hours of PTO saved up.
Yeah.
So I just said, how many more Fridays do we have left for the rest of the year? I have every Friday off for the rest of the year.
All right.
So I was off yesterday, but I had to watch Alex. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, what am I going to do all day today? My friend's got a garage. He told me I could use it whenever I want. He's not home today. I want to sand down my car and paint it. Now, in retrospect, let me paint this picture for you. I've had, out of all the cars I've had, I had two S10s, or I had two S10 Blazers and a K5. And my K5 was my pride and joy. It had a 3-inch lift kit with 32s, And this bitch was the kind where you could take the the back end off and stuff like that. So it was the Chevy version of the Bronco.
Right.
Yeah.
I fucking love that truck. But I've painted that, Brian Silverado, and my 2 trucks via spray can from Home Depot. And my first S10 I painted in matte black with a matte orange stripe going down the hood. And I finished it off with a matte clear coat. And I tell you what, if you thought it, people would have looked at it and they asked me, "Where'd you get painted?" They thought it was
cool, yeah.
They thought it was like a legit paint job. And I said, "If you want me to do this to your car, it's going to cost you $120. That's including the sandpaper, the spray paint, and the painter's tape I have to get from Home Depot." And they all sat there, and like every single time I've told this story, there was one guy who must have been like 60 years old. He had a '57 Chevy down at the Ocean City Car Show, and he's just sitting there, because he was walking past it in the parking lot, and I had just gotten out of it. And he's like, "Where'd you get your car painted? That looks really good." I'm like, "I did it myself." He's like, "Oh, you do this stuff?" I'm like, "I mean, not really. I mean, I just went to Home Depot and bought everything." And he was floored. He's like, "No fucking way. This is a Home Depot paint job. You're full of shit." I said, "Hey, man, if you got something you want me to paint for you, I'll be happy to come over and paint it for you from Home Depot and make it look like this." I'm not saying I'm an artist or anything like that, but how hard is it to just go back and forth with a spray can and go, "Huh, I still see some paint." Covered it up. All right, let's move. and that's all I did to my truck. I mean, the truck's worth $500. Now, the only reason I got rid of my second Blazer with the Vortec, again, that motor was bulletproof. I had about 200 and some odd thousand miles on it. But the windows kind of like went up real slow. The passenger window would go up halfway before it would stop. I then have to wait like 5 minutes for it to charge up to get it to go all the way back up. The back hatch was wiggling and jiggling. I electrical tape and duct tape that bitch shut so many times to just get it to stop that wiggle noise. And the suspension was going up. It's like every little nitpicky thing that was going to eventually cost me $1,000 to fix was going up. But the motor was bulletproof. And the way I got that truck is I was working at a pawn shop as their eBay coordinator, where I'd sell shit for pawn shops on eBay. So someone brought this in, and he's like, "Look, I don't feel like dealing with the car." But I'm like, but I said, "But it's got the Vortec. You're going to sell it." He's like, "Whatever, go ahead and take it for a test drive." So I drove it around and came back. I'm like, solid as a rock. It just needs this, this, and this. The check engine light's on. I would run that next door to the Firestone, see if they can flash it real quick to find out what the issue is. We ended up buying it off the guy for $600.
No shit.
It was his grandmother's. It was apparently his grandmother's truck. She died. He didn't know what to do with it, and he wanted money fast. We gave him $600. Took it to the Firestone. Paid him whatever it cost him to get it to pass inspection and all that other stuff. They fixed the little nitpicky stuff. We got it out front with a for sale sign. Month goes by and it never sells. My S10 Blazer, on the other hand, with the 2.8 piece of shit that it had, my girlfriend called me at the time. She's like, "Hey, I'm down at Iguana Cantina. I'm fucked up and I'm having a blast. You should come down here because I'm probably going to be DTF after this party's over." I'm like, "Let's go." Meanwhile, I'm up in White Marsh, completely shit-faced at a house party. But I don't care. I jump in my truck. It starts to rain. Roads aren't exactly like grippy anymore. I don't care. I go around this turn to get on 95, and I just drift it. And my front end hits it to where my front tire at this point is now in like this and over like this. But not that bad. So it's more kind of like this. So I'm driving the entire time having to hold my steering wheel to go straight like this. Not right. So I get up the next day and I pull in, and my boss sees me pulling in. After I parked, he comes over and sees my truck backed in. My front tire is a little crooked. He comes in, he goes, "Your truck okay?" I'm like, "Why you ask?" He's like, "Your front tire is way off. Did you break an axle?" I'm like, "No, I bent my frame." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I probably shouldn't be driving it." He's like, "Well, what happened?" I gave him the whole story. He's like, "All right, well, did you get laid?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And I stayed over and tagged it again in the morning. And he's like, all right, well, come see me at the end of the day. And I'm like, "That's random, but okay." I go, I do my job and stuff like that. And he comes back. He's like, "Look, man, your sales for the last month or two have been outstanding. We're in that truck, the $600 for buying it, another $200 for inspection and stuff like that. You're one of the hardest working guys I've ever had. I will sell you the truck for the $800 that we're in it." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Your Blazer's fucked." I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty fucked." He's like, "I will sell you the other Blazer that we have." I'm like, "Hold on, the one with the Vortec?" He's like, "Whatever that means, sure." I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll take it for $800. He's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna do like $200 out of each year pay because he paid me like $500 cash a week. It's like, I'll take $200 out of your paycheck for the next month. We'll call it even. I'm like, fuck yeah. Had that truck for 4 years. Cool. All I did was oil change and replace the tires. Never had a fucking issue with it. I'll drive a Chevy until the day I die.
So her and I have to go to dinner shortly, so that's why the alarm went off. So.
I didn't even know an alarm went off.
Where are we going?
Don Pablo's. It's very romantic. We're going to turn the lights down, fire up some candles.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I would like the tacos.
Yeah, order a burrito.
Si, senor.
Give me all the tacos.
Every taco you
Did
have.
you want one taco? All the tacos with all your eggs and your bacon.
We got this one burrito. It's called the meat tornado. You had
no. he goes walking by. He saw the he's like, what's like? We want to get something to eat. Like, we go to that place next door. He's like, what do they have? It was gyros, and it's like they basically have meat on a stick and they just keep shaving it off. He's like, you had me at Meat Tornado.
No, the shaving off the stick was when him and Rob Lowe went out
to do yoga. Yeah,
to do yoga.
Yeah,
the Meat Tornado
right.
was him and Chris Pratt.
Right. Yeah, they got this thing there called the Meat Tornado. Oh, here it is. I'm totally looking at this one right now. Like, I don't have the money for it per se, but if I can get it, I'm gonna get it. That's the one I want, because that is a 2-door. I don't care if it's leaking oil and needs a new head gasket. That's
As
the
much
one.
as I badmouth race racers, Subaru's legit. And I can't argue with them, only because I'm a rally race guy. Which, of course, those aren't really race racers to me. But I can't watch NASCAR. I just can't.
Where's
don't
Compass
badmouth
Point?
people that love it. I just can't watch it.
I've lost interest in it, really.
Where?
For a few years, I went to Denver 3 times. I went to Virginia a couple times, and it's like it was the same old bullshit. They kept changing everything and changing everything. So
all the
really
different
got, like,
regulations, turn it into a points thing, and all
just
that.
glad they're watching race single file, and like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Well, they what's it? My brother, he's into, like, we don't watch NASCAR, but he watches all kinds of different racing. And he's pissed off at the Formula One racing because it's all regulated except for Mercedes when they decide to come out and say, this is a test engine, but it's the best engine out of all of them. Because, of course, after they finally get the test engine done, then everybody else can do it. But who knows how long it's going to take. That's why that kid Hamilton is so good, is because he's driving the best freaking car.
like Richard Petty driving a Hemi.
Yeah.
Everybody away.
Well, you see, I like that, though. I like that about NASCAR. That's the one thing that had me interested in that. And personally, I miss the rubbing as racing. I really miss, as much as I poo-poo NASCAR nowadays, because I'm just not interested, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was one of my favorite back in the day.
Oh, man, I just wished him so well.
Or not junior, old senior. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, Danica Patrick, even though she never seemed to pan out, but
she's, because we knew her from the Indy racing before she got there.
Right.
And we weren't that impressed with her back then.
Yeah.
And when she got to the NASCAR, everybody was like, first great female racer. I'm like, there's plenty of female racers that have raced in NASCAR. They haven't ever made it in the top 10. But there are female racers.
Oh, yeah.
You know. We didn't really like the whole hype that was behind her because some of it was just kind of
it's
vicious.
just bullshit. Yeah, it's like saying, oh, he's the first gay black guy that came out and he was gay.
Right.
You know, so, what's that mean?
Congratulations. No one cares.
Well, actually, it's funny because you bring that up. So they had that football player that came out gay. He got drafted by the Rams. Didn't work out for him.
The Rams of all the teams.
Shocker.
Went to the CFL to try and make a team up there, and it wasn't that he wasn't going to make the team. He literally just gave up. But you look at somebody like Johnny Manziel, and I'm a football fan, so I know of Warren Moon and some of these Hall of Famer guys that they weren't making it in the NFL. They had to go out to the CFL, prove themselves, and then come back, and they became Hall of Famers. So when you got guys like Kaepernick and all these guys that are like, I want this or nothing. It's like, no, work your ass off and get what you want. That's how you get it. And that guy will forever be known as the first outed gay black guy in the NFL, but what he won't be known as the first outed gay black guy to make it to the Hall of Fame because he just gave up. It's like, how do you do that?
How about Ray Lewis? Was he a lucky motherfucker to go out like he did? Christ.
Should be in jail.
Like timing or what? Damn.
Yeah, I mean,
he'll retire. I think I won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, that was a hell of a team that
Oh,
year.
yeah.
I don't know if he should be in jail, but that's a topic I guess for another time. You and Mike a lot can hold that. I'm sure Steve too, because you guys hate football.
I don't give a shit about football. Right. It's hard enough watching the Orioles as it is right now for me to even give a shit about football.
They're sad.
It's depressing.
And I really feel bad for Ray Rice. I know he did wrong, but Jesus Christ, why fucking hang him on a cross?
Well, it also
he's been going downhill for years before that took
yeah,
place.
the
anyway.
yardage was starting to decline. That was kind of a no-brainer. No, I can't say that our front office is held very well with all these issues, but you know what front office? I mean, look at Urban Meyer and all the shit they try to hang his ass out on, and all he's getting for Ohio State is a couple weeks suspension, and everybody wanted his fucking job.
I'd like to be the asshole that released that fucking tape of him in the elevator knocking him around. What a jerk.
With the amount of money,
he probably made some money off that.
I was gonna say
yeah,
he didn't.
Still, man, that was fucking.
I mean,
that was wrong.
You're sitting on whatever TMZ wanted to give you the money
Yeah,
for it.
He made a lot of money because that really fucked him up. Of course, it didn't matter because he still had enough money anyway.
Yeah.
He still got paid for part of his contract.
I've never been under this illusion that the NFL or really any professional athletes are angels. It's not what I'm there for. Whatever they do on the off the field and all that, as long as it's not something that, you know, if they're guilty of something and they have to serve time, serve time. You know, when Ray Lewis and that whole mess happened, my whole take was, well, what are the courts going to say? What is it? If the courts say that he's not guilty, then he's not guilty. And, you know, anybody who wants to say otherwise, go talk to the fucking courts. That's all I can say. And that's anybody in the history of anything. That if you go to a court, for whatever the fuck reason, the court says, you're good to go, talk to you later, then you're innocent. That's just how it is. Love it or leave it. Look at OJ.
And you got a lot of money.
I was getting ready to say, look, OJ got let off, so who knows what.
So, I mean, OJ, it was pretty much... for them to do that, if the glove doesn't fit, it must have quit, pissed me the fuck off because, A, he had this huge hand, and then they put a latex glove on it, and then they used this blood soaked, which I don't know if people are familiar with leather. When it gets wet, it shrinks. So, yeah, it's probably not going to fit.
He was also on medication because he was known to have his joints swell up.
Yeah.
He was on this medication for it, and he hadn't taken that medication at the time.
Which joints?
Not those ones.
Not the blood joints.
I'm sorry you got very excited there.
No, at the end of I mean, I liked Ogden better than Ray anyway, because Ray's a whole bunch of hot air. And I don't need all the hot air. I just need him to go out there and play. And all his preaching and all that stuff, it's like,
Thanks for listening. Interact with the guys by emailing our podcast at googlegroups.com or leaving a voicemail on 330-577-8445.